Salmen defense, and what a defense this is. One of the preeminent defenses in the state of Louisiana. They give up less than 5 points per game. Tony Jackson's, Ty Williford, Ernie Moore up front. All three with good size and can play. The linebackers, Smith, Marks, Brendel, and Crawford. The secondary is terrific. Damian Woods, Brandon Bell, Keith and Kevin Porter, the brothers. Second down, 10 yards to go. The Salmen 48. Again, the split backs in a strong left formation. Counterplay, Strawn to the 45-yard line, has about 3 yards on the play. It will bring up approximately third down and 7 yards to go. Getting up off the bottom of the pile for Salmen, 64, Ernie Moore. And it will be third down and 7 yards to go. Bill Stubbs, what a job he has done in his 8th season, 82 and 24. State champions a year ago. #1 team in the state this year and ranked 17th in the nation. And they've been there all season long. The Patriots play a 3rd and 7 from the Salmen 45. Holloway over the football. Splitting out wide to the left now is David Caldwell. Wide right is James Powell. Burris is hit and fumbles. Scramble for the football. Salmen says they have it. They have to unpile them, and they do. The Spartans with the first turnover of the ball game. And it looked like 34 Ty Williford, who came up with a football. As we get a chance, Renee, to see it again.
Yes, he's turning around, Kenny, and he's going to be hit by, that's 24, make that Smith, the outside linebacker. And it was bouncing around, a lot of white jerseys around, but a very tenacious type defense by the Salmen Spartans.
And Williford recovers, and Salmen gets the ball at their own 46, 9:46 to play. First quarter, no score, an official timeout. That should give us a chance to set that Salmen offense for you. And it is very potent, as is their defense. The Spartans can strike from anywhere at any time with great speed. They are wearing their all-white uniforms, black numerals, black headgear, and black socks as well. And we'll set that offense for you after the first play. Brandon Dale is the quarterback. And they give to Dwayne Woods, and he's tripped up as he gets across midfield to the Curtis 49. He has about 5 yards, and he was a step from breaking it. And this kid can break it from anywhere at any time. Brian Shelley, Jack Gilligan, John Capdebosque, Jeremy Thompson, and Alex Gibson up front for the Salmen Spartans. Brandon Dale, Woods, and Green, the running backs. Enright, Watson, and Roberts are the receivers on second down. And 5 yards to go. Flag down, the give to Woods. Woods is going to get a first down as he's down to the Curtis 42, but a flag is down. Tony Mitchell makes the stop, and this will likely work against the Spartans. It was thrown in the backfield of Salmen. They run the no-huddle offense. And they run that straight T formation with 3 backs directly behind Curtis, and this will work against the Spartans.
Kenny, you got to watch this kid, Dwayne Woods. He's got a 4.3 speed in the 40, and they compare him to a younger Evan Smith or Barry Sanders. He may be the next Kevin Falk coming out of the state of Louisiana, but over 2,100 yards on the season, 27 touchdowns. He can break it from anywhere on this field.
An illegal shift against Salmen.
Illegal shift on the offense. Replay second down.
That's referee Mike Hill. This is a Lafayette crew. The umpire, Jim Morgan. The line judge, Terry St. Cyr. The head linesman is L.J. Boudreau. The back judge, Ed Bourgeois. And the electric clock operator is John Austin. Second down and 10 as we watch Woods get an apparent first down, but negated by the penalty. Again, that straight high formation, and Woods again. And Woods crosses midfield again. He's down to the Curtis 48-yard line. Cliff Crane and Tony Mitchell were there defensively. Crane, 6 foot, 231 pounds, a senior. He's played good all season long. As we look at the Curtis defense with Crane, Mitchell, and Johnson, the 3-man front, all with good size. Pritchard, Smith, Valoria, and Norman, the linebackers. Ricky Brandt is good. Jason Howard LeBlanc is terrific. Mike O'Brien is playing tonight with a twisted ankle. Third down, 5 yards to go at the Curtis 48. Single receiver split right. And motion. And the tailback is jammed. Nothing there for Keith Porter. Slammed down at the line of scrimmage. as Keith Porter, the senior, had nowhere to go, and this will necessitate a Salmen punt. Cliff Crane and Chris Johnson make the stop for the Patriots.
It was great penetration by the Patriot front three, and that stopped, that plugged up the middle and didn't allow him to go anywhere. You can see right here, Kenny, great penetration, especially by Mitchell right here, stopping the play, putting a hand on Porter and just jamming everything up, which will, as you said, caused Salmen to punt on 4th down.
Ricky Brandt and Clarence LeBlanc deep to receive the punt of Brandon Dale, and a good one. And Brandt from his 15 backpedals to the 10. He's in big trouble, avoids one tackle and another, and goes down at about the 15. So Curtis will start again deep in its own soup at about the 16-yard line with 7:32 to play in the first quarter, and no score. Antonio Robinson on the stop. We saw the Patriots turn it over on their first possession, Renee, and they have a lot of fumble problems with that Veer offense. As we look at J.T. Curtis, it requires lots of ball handling, and the ball will end up on the turf fairly frequently.
Yes, it does. A lot of accurate really reads and everything like that to make that field run. We'll talk more about that offensive front, which is exceptional by the Patriots.
Receivers to either side. Burris, the quarterback, split backs behind him per usual. Strong right formation. Strawn with a hole. Mike Strawn is up near the 26-yard line for about 9 yards, straight up the gut. This is where Curtis was able to do business with Salmen last year in the Superdome. When they tried to go wide, they had enormous problems. Danny Marks, 45, the captain inside linebacker, a returning starter at 6 feet, 220 pounds. The senior and leading tackler on this team makes the stop.
You may see the offensive front right here with no markings on the helmets. Reason being, they don't feel like they've played a perfect game and don't deserve John Curtis markings on their helmets. Just alignment on offense and defense.
Second, a short 2, line of scrimmage just across the 25. And Wells is stuffed. Fights anyway, and it looks to have a first down. What an effort by Jonathan Wells. He was hit immediately by Edrin Smith, the outside linebacker, but Wells kept his legs pumping, and his good frame at 6'2", 205 pounds gets him a first down. Gets a gain of 3.
And Jonathan Wells takes the handoff right here, Kenny, and he's a bull. He's not going to be taken down. He's a big guy. He reminds you in his style of a Greg Dubrock, who went on to play linebacker for the LSU Tigers. But Wells with 14 touchdowns on the season, only a sophomore with 4.6 speed, and he showed a little bit of speed on the first carry of this game.
Andy Burris, 5'11", 175, a senior, a first-year starter. Threw for 2 scores, ran for another, and a win over Cohen earlier this year. Single receiver right, 2 tight ends, and the give and a hole for Strawn. Bounces it outside. He's in the clear. 45-50. He might go. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. Mike Strawn is down at the Salmen 11-yard line. First down, Curtis. Edrin Smith and Keith Porter hustling to save a touchdown. There's that team speed defensively, saving the TD. But what a huge run by Strawn, but hold everything. There is a flag down on the play, way upfield, and that's going to cost John Curtis a big play.
It showed what kind of speed Strawn has. 4.6 speed. The little hound is, you can see the hole right there, Kenny.
That's
good
a
call.
block in the back against
That
Mike
really
Lilly,
was.
it appeared.
And it looks like Strawn is going, but it's going to all come back. A good run. Shows the kind of speed he has, but shows potential. The pursuit. A outside linebacker, Smith, right here, makes the tackle downfield. He's got 4.
Holding, blue, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
It's a spot foul, and it will be first down all over again. And first down and 13 yards to go from the 26. So a huge play by Strawn is negated by a penalty. And again, the inside veer. That is where Curtis is going to do business against this Salmen team.
Well, also, Kenny, they want to make Salmen be very, very cognizant of that inside dive and get outside a little bit. They do have the speed with Strawn, Wells, Pierce, and Cochran. So
you don't get outside on this Salmen team. No one has for 2 years.
well, that was a good bounce outside and a good run by Strawn. And you got to keep him off balance a little bit.
Twin receivers right now. A single receiver left, no tight ends. They spread him, and Burris runs the draw play. And short yardage, if anything, maybe a yard for Wells. Tony Jackson wraps him up. And it wasn't Wells, it was Brad Corcoran who had checked in, the 6'1", 205-pound junior, who had a 54-yard run and a touchdown against Landry. Corcoran has seen extensive action this year. It's second down and 12, a gain of 1 officially for the Patriots as Bill Stubbs walks the sideline. The Spartans 11-0, 4-0, and first in District 7 4A. Consisting of Salmen, Hammond, Bogalusa, St. Paul's, and North Shore. Again, twin receivers right, a single receiver left. Option against him. Trying to get outside. Wells, forget about it. You're not going to run outside against Salmen. They invite you to go outside. That is what they want you to do. Terrell Vieira, a very talented sophomore safety, makes the stop. Boy, can this kid hit. 6'4", 180, only a sophomore, and what a future he has.
And Wells trying to get outside, Kenny. 4-6 speed, as you said. It's tough to get outside on the Spartans. But, boy, you're talking about some talent out here. Looking at, we'll be talking about them, but in fact, you see the Burris with the option right here, pitching it back to Burris. Just can't find the hole. Good pitch right here, good timing pitch, but he's covered, and a good tackle put on him with nowhere to run, and a major loss for the Curtis Patriots. Puts him in the hole.
3rd and 16, their own 23, 4:25 at counting first quarter. Burris rolling right, wants to throw, and does, and the pass is overthrown, intended for Corcoran. Very short attempt anyway, and the coverage by Brindell, and it will be 4th down in a punting situation for John Curtis, and the Patriots have hurt themselves early with a fumble and a penalty, negating a huge play.
Burris is a quarterback. In fact, when we last did a Curtis game, was Curtis and Shaw. They were in a 2-quarterback situation somewhat. Burris has pretty much manned the reins of the quarterback situation. He's got a lot of attention. He's got a brother that plays at Grambling. He's got some interest from Grambling and Carson Newman. Andy Burris.
Mike O'Brien, playing with a bad ankle, will punt it away. Deep to receive the talented Keith Porter. He can go at any time. Plenty of time, and he gets it away. Nice wobbly spiral. Will hit around midfield and take a Patriot bounce. And this punt will be downed at about the 41-yard line. So this turns out to be an effective punt. A 36-yard punt and no return. Salmen will have its second possession with 4:11 to play in the first quarter and no score. And the Spartans have had all of the field position early. They've started drives from their 46 and their 41. Curtis has started drives from their 15 and their 14-yard lines, respectively. Well, the Spartans get it back. This is a very experienced team as well as talented. 16 returning starters from their state championship team of a year ago. 7 on offense, 9 on defense.
Kenny, so much attention goes to Dwayne Woods, but Brandon Dale, the coaching staff says, is the straw that stirs the drink for that Salmen offense.
And now the crew from Lafayette is conferring, and what they're doing is moving the players back, apparently, and the coaches back on the sideline. And we'll get a little conference about this as they do that. Salmen last year 14-1 overall, 5-0 in District 12 4A, and state champs, of course, beating Curtis 12-7 in the Dome. Last year, their only blemish, a loss to state 5A champion Hahnville, but boy, did they avenge that this year as they walloped Hahnville 35-6. That's Hahnville alive in the state quarterfinals in Class 5A tonight as we speak. That's impressive. This formation that Salmen runs, very reminiscent of West Monroe. Larry Wright running out of that tailback formation for them a couple of years ago. Here's Woods, breaks a tackle and fights forward to about the 48. He has close to 7 yards on the play. Boy, Woods is a tremendous player. 5'10", 185, a junior, an all-metro performer. And he has had some season again this year. You talk about great numbers. He continues to put them up. Salmen defeated Curtis, as we mentioned, last time these two teams met. First time they met was way back in 1969. Salmen won 36-6 in Curtis's first year. Second down, Porter crosses midfield and gets hit hard and driven back close to his first down. Clarence LeBlanc, the Terminator, belts him, and I mean belts him, and he'll do that. 6'4", 190, a senior. He may be the best-looking safety I've seen all year. Here's an injury down now as Alex Gibson, 66, the starting right tackle and captain for this Salmen team, is down on the turf as we get a chance to watch this hit again.
And yes, you can see Porter right here running with the ball, and he's going to be met by Clarence. Boy, I tell you, Clarence LeBlanc really wraps him up and drives him back in. He drives right through the runner, and he's only 6'4", 195. As you said, he will be an outside linebacker in college.
He drove him back about 4 yards on that play. Gibson cannot put his right foot on the ground as we look at the Patriots sideline and the offense conferring. Boy, we really hope Gibson can manage to walk this off and get back in the game. This young man's a captain. He's had quite a season. And Salmen has a first down on the measurement at the Curtis 49. And we'll check and see how the offense responds without Gibson. Looks like they have made the change with 73. Chris Edwards, 6 feet and 263 pounds, but just a sophomore. He'll get a baptism of fire over on the right side. Lines up at right tackle. Again, the same formation. And a single receiver. Split left. That is Enright. Fake Dale. Looks to throw in the flat caught. This is Green, and he has a first down on the Curtis 38. Chris Green, the leading receiver on this team, a returning starter. He has 30 catches coming in. Ricky Brandt makes the stop. First down, Spartans at the Curtis 38.
And Chris Green is the leading receiver, as you said, 4.7 speed. Brandon Dale, good faking, good ball handling right here. Rolling left, Kenny, throwing across the bow, throwing right here, hits his target, and Chris Green knows what to do with it. He's caught 30 catches, his 31st catch of this season. And Brandon Dale is really the quarterback. He really is the hub of this offense and does an outstanding job.
Woods gets the ball, and he gets hit. Fights his way forward to about the 35. Penetration initially by 98 Vic Valoria, the sophomore. And then finally, Mr. Woods polished off by Brad Guthrie and Jason Smith. Guthrie, the junior safety, started for Mike O'Brien when he was hurt earlier this year with a broken hand. He has lots of experience. Second down. A short 8, 2:25 to play, first quarter, no score. Salmen just outside the John Curtis 35. Strong right formation. Counter play left with Woods. Woods tiptoes his way down near the 30. He doesn't need much to operate. He just has great feet. Smith and Cliff Crane make the stop. It will be third down, about 2 yards to go for Salmen. Curtis makes some changes defensively. And entering the game, Keith Porter for Salmen.
Kenny, Salmen running behind the left side of the line of the offensive front. And that's Gillikin and Shalley. And Woods knows what to do with that 4.3 speed. Very powerful for a 185-pound running back.
Swally with a great block there. Third down and 2. Flag down. Woods has the ball, has a first down, but there is a flag down in the backfield again. And this is going to be illegal motion against Salmen. So the second penalty against the Spartans. And it comes with 1:37 to play in the first quarter as Bill Stubbs prowls the sideline. And they'll mark this one off against Salmen. During the regular season, Salmen beat a playoff team in Slidell, a playoff team in Covington, a playoff team in Glen Oaks, a playoff team in Hunville, a playoff team in South Lafourche, a playoff team in Bogalusa. They beat Hammond, St. Paul's, and North Shore as well. You get the idea.
And Brandon Dale giving the ball to Dwayne Woods deep in the backfield. Let him do what he does best. He's got some of the best set of eyes for a running back the coaches think they've ever seen in prep on the prep level.
Watson wide left and right to the right. Dale quarterback draw. He's hit, breaks a tackle, but goes down. Has about 2 yards, wrapped up by Jason Smith, who's all over the field earlier, and why not? This kid had 16 tackles in a win over Capital earlier this year. He is their leading tackler, and showing you why early in this game. They will likely go for it. It's 4-down territory, 4th and 5 at the 33. They do have an excellent place kicker in Patrick Green, and there is a wind down there swirling around. And Salmen will take a timeout, it does appear, to talk about this scenario. Timeout Spartans, 57 seconds to play in the first quarter with our score. Salmen nothing, John Curtis nothing on the Cox Cable Prep Football Game of the Week. Go down. Curtis 11-0 entering this game. They were 9-4A district champions, 4-0, having beaten the likes of Landry, Walker, Cohen, and McMain within their district. Over the course of the year, they beat Shaw, Capital, Gulfport, Clark, West St. John, and their 4 district opponents as well. And Salmen has elected to punt the football, apparently, but Brandon Dale is the punter, and he's their quarterback, and he has great speed. Curtis aware of that. Takes the snap, and he will boot it away. It is very high, and it's toward the corner. A good-looking kick, and it skips out of bounds inside the 5 at about the 3. A marvelous punt by Brandon Dale. 30 yards and no return. And again, the Patriots will start deep in their own territory with no score. Let's head down to field level now for this update from Lance Jacob.
Gentlemen, the injury report on Alec Gibson is that he suffered an injury on his stress fracture on his right foot. He's been playing with that injury all year long. He just re-injured it. They're going to try and tape him up and get him back in the game, back upstairs.
All right, thank you, Lance. Bad news indeed A good look at him down there. And our sympathies to young Mr. Gibson. He's a fine player, and we certainly hope that an injury heals up enough for him to continue playing if Salmen can advance. 1st and 10. They mark it at the 4 officially, and flags go down before the play starts. This will likely work against the Patriots unless someone was lined up in the neutral zone. As the flag came from the side.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. Still 1st down.
More problems for John Curtis. Now the line of scrimmage will be inside the 2 with 50 seconds to play here in the 1st half. First quarter, I should say.
New quarterback Kirk Walters, who's the son of wide receiver coach Steve Walters of the New Orleans Saints. One thing I want to mention about the Patriot quarterbacks, they have to be very cerebral. They have 3 options when they step up to the line of scrimmage, and they check off, and it's their option at times to check onto another play. If they see something, if they see a reason the play called in the huddle is not going to work. So to be a quarterback for the Patriots, you have to be very intelligent and in tune in the game.
Kirk, 6'4", 195, and a junior. Split backs behind him, 2 tight ends. Strawn with the ball. Strawn has a yard, and that's all. And it will be 2nd down and about 11 yards to go as Mike Strawn found some tough going there in the center of that Salmen defense as he ran into 45 Danny Marks and 64 Ernie Moore. It will be 2nd down and 11 as we are now under 30 seconds to play in the 1st quarter. This Curtis team with 10 returning starters from its state runner-up team a year ago. 4 on offense, 6 on defense, as the defense confers. Walters with a 2 tight end set, and they give this time to Wells, and boy, he's strong. Jonathan Wells up to the 8, close to the 9-yard line. He always drags tacklers with him. Antonio Robinson is able to make the stop. The 6', 180-pound sophomore on the final play of the 1st quarter. So it has been a very interesting and evenly played 1st quarter as J.T. Curtis takes a deep breath. We're just getting started. Through 1 quarter at Joe Yeti. It's Salmen nothing, John Curtis nothing on the Cox Cable Prep Football Game of the Week. Are set to begin. Ken Trahan, Renee Nato from Joe Yeti. No score. The Patriots play a 3rd and 4 near their 9-yard line. Split wide right is Caldwell. Everyone else is tight. Strawn and Wells remain the running backs. Walters the quarterback. Salmen stacking the center of the line now, backing off a bit. Constantly shuffling their deck. Here's Wells. Breaks 1 tackle, but short. He loses the ball now, and if it's alive, Curtis has recovered up near the 15-yard line, and that would be a 1st down. As the ball was recovered by Mike Lilly, and what a huge turn of events for John Curtis. Wells was short of a 1st down, coughed it up, but Lilly recovered. 1st down, Patriots. That's a break.
And Mike Lilly, they'd say Mike Lilly probably is as good a tight end as I've ever had here at John Curtis. This is one of the reasons, eyes up. But the ball is given to Wells. It's popped loose. And Mike Lilly, with his hustling, comes up with the loose ball. And more importantly, a 1st down for the Patriots right here. Boy, I tell you, he's lucky because they had the ball going back to Salmen. They were in serious position to score.
Damian Woods stripped that ball. I'm not too sure he wasn't down, but he was fighting. Quick snap here. Counter play. Wells evades a tackler. Fine run. Boy, he got up to about the 25-yard line on his own. Great effort by Jonathan Wells on the counter. He has about 9, and he'll come out of the game, and Corcoran will replace him. It will be 2nd and 1. Kevin Porter, the twin brother of Keith Porter, makes the stop. What a pair of safeties they are.
He was going left, cuts it back, makes something out of nothing. Great feet right here. Really good feet, plants and cuts off. And when he lowers the boom, Ken, he's really hitting the defensive player. He attacks that defense when he runs.
Good effort by Clarence Crawford, who was faked badly out of the play early, but then he hustled back to get in on the tackle. That's a good hustling play by Crawford, and that's the way Salmen plays defense. They can really run to the football. 2nd and 1. And play faking, wanting to throw. Walters will go deep. Overthrown, intended for Rocky Curl, who is getting deep on Kevin Porter. He had a couple of steps, but the wind got hold of that. Curtis is operating with the wind now. Walters with a good play fake in time. Waited, And that ball carried. He shows a good arm. It will be 3rd down and 1 yard to go. Boy, I like that call on 2nd and short.
That was good, and it was good read by Andy Burris. We talked about how smart you have to be a quarterback, Ken. This kid is a junior. He's got a 4.0 GPA. He had an 18 on his ACT test in 8th grade. This year, he achieved a 25 on his ACT test. Again, you have to be quite an intelligent young man to play quarterback.
Curtis hurrying to the line of scrimmage. This play took a lot of time to get in on 3rd and 1. Quick snap. Strawn has it. Strawn has a 1st down and more. As he bounces off of a tackle, gets up to about the 30-yard line. They might mark him down at about the 28 or 9, saying his knee touchdown, but it's a 1st down nonetheless. Chris Brindell and Clarence Crawford make the stop. Brindell, a returning starter at inside linebacker, but the Patriots move the chains for the 2nd consecutive time as the Spartan fans look on. Fans are standing and watching around the fence here at Joe Yenny Stadium as we anticipated on what is a fabulous night to play football. Fall weather, huge game.
Ken, the size advantage goes in the pit, goes to the Curtis Patriot offensive front, but how tenacious the Salmen defense is, as evidenced by their winning record and just 4.9 points per game.
Counter play, well, stacked up. Robinson was there. Antonio Robinson, the sophomore outside linebacker, was not fooled. And the Patriots thought they might be able to run some counter plays here tonight because Salmen just sells out. They go to the ball, run so well, you try to use their speed against them. But boy, this defense is so good. Coordinated by Bill Beasley, who's done a magnificent job for Salmen.
Both the outside linebackers for the Salmen Spartans are 4'5", 40 guys. They remind you of a smaller version of Mike Sutton, who was an All-State performer here a couple of years ago. At Salmen, the inside guys, Jackson Williford and Moore, are just big, solid, strong players, tough to run against.
Caldwell into the game with the play, splits wide right. Howell is wide left on 2nd down, quick snap. And the keeper, and Walters, is hit hard as he crosses the 35 out to about the 36, and he was upended hard at that point. And it will be 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. Marks was there defensively along with Damian Woods. Boy, this Woods, a captain, a 5'10", 180-pound senior. The older brother of Dwayne Woods, who's a terrific player, of course, at running back. It's a gain of 7, and it's 3rd and 3. And the play comes into the game now from the sideline. Patriots with 8:45 to play in the first half, trying to sustain their drive. Clarence LeBlanc has checked in offensively. Splits wide left. And they run it with Strawn. Fighting, close, and he may have gotten it with that last burst. He just kept the legs pumping and got it near the 39 and looks to have the 1st down. We'll see where they mark it. I think he's got it with that mark, Renee. And he does. Antonio Robinson makes the stop. Let's head down now to field level. Our Lance Jacob has a former Patriot with him. Lance?
Thanks, gentlemen. Curtis alum Jerry Godfrey and now Tulane redshirt freshman offensive lineman. Jerry, you talked to the team before the game tonight.
Yeah, I just told the guys if we come out, we execute, and we're going to win. If we don't execute, it's going to be a long night for us. I think last year we wasn't all the way ready like we could have been, but this year I think we're ready. We're not too hyped. We're relaxed, and we're ready to play some ball.
Words from a player who has a 1993 state championship back upstairs.
He's got a good future at Tulane as well. Very well liked there by the coaching staff. Here's Wells. Wells to the 45. He has about 6. And Renee, this is what I was talking about in the pregame show, having witnessed that state championship game last year. Curtis has to remain patient and take this 4, 5, and 6 yards a pop up the gut, straight up the middle. That is where they are strong. That is where they'll do business against this team. Brindell, Moore, and Robinson on the stop.
Well, Kenny, across the front, the right guard Eckert, center Holloway, and left guard Timmy Harris of the Patriots are right now dominating that middle and giving the Patriot running back some room to run. And once they break that line of scrimmage, they have the ability to break something out of nothing.
Strawn running hard, the son of former St. Mike Strawn, same name, the Hound, watching tonight unquestionably. 2nd down, play fake Walters, rolling right. And there's an illegal block. Walters throws, pass incomplete for Curl, and this will work against the Patriots again. This is what I'm talking about. They get away from that inside here, and it's a clip. Big penalty. Eckert was trying to make a block, but he clearly did not have the angle to make that block. Great effort nonetheless, and I'm sure you'll see it again here.
Well, he peels back, Ken. The only problem he did, he put his helmet on the wrong side, but it wasn't right there. That's a shame. Had he put his helmet in the front, it would have been a legal block. Just going to put the Patriots back in a hole, but Jay Eckert, one of the strong men up front in the pit for the Patriots.
Danny Marks was the guy that was blocked and pressuring. Boy, he's some player on the Patriots sideline. Huge penalty here is going to put Curtis in bad position back at their 30-yard line, where it will be second down and 19 yards to go with 7:11 to play in the first half and no score. There's LeBlanc coming into the game with a play from the sideline. What an athlete. Why not? If he's that good, use him both ways.
Well, he's going to make somebody a pretty good athlete. He's being looked at real closely by Michigan, Tennessee, Florida State, Nebraska, LSU, and Tulane. Clarence LeBlanc, big-time hitter with 4.6 speed.
Twin receivers right, single receiver left. They spread them out here. And they give it to Strawn. And he fights forward, hit right away by Ernie Moore, but he battles forward for about 3. This Strawn isn't big, but boy, he shows you good leg strength. He's been driving for extra yardage every time. A good look at Mike, returning starter. Rushed for 828 yards and 9 touchdowns last year. This year, 97 carries, 575 yards, 6 scores.
And running behind the strength of that offense, the right side, but he runs head-on into Tony Jackson and Ty Williford of the Salmen Spartans. And also Ernie Moore made the stop along with Tony Jackson. I tell you, Kenny, not big up front for the Salmen Spartans, but boy, they take great angles, and pursuit is outstanding.
Curtis is going to have to take a timeout, as they took a whole bunch of time getting this play into the game, and alertly the captain, David Caldwell, signaled for the timeout. It comes with 6:26 to play first half, and there is no score. The Patriots and the Spartans, and this is the Cox.
I made the move.
I made the move.
I made the move.
Everybody's making the move to the original for bigger savings. Get the SHO, only $398.86 per month with all the goodies. Get moving with Eddie Bauer's F-150, only $188.20 per month, and it has everything. Get $750 rebate or 4.9 on the pickup, or get moving by saving $3,500. So make the move with your 15-minute dealer, the original Bone Ford in New Orleans. Make the move.
Our thanks to Bone Ford and Bobby Bone for his continuing undaunted support of high school football here on Cox Cable. We couldn't do it without people like Bobby Bone, who simply loves the game. As JT Curtis looks on, you will have known the final scores by the time you see this telecast, but a couple of games going on tonight we do have scores on. Hanville and Arrett tied at 7 in the first quarter in Class 5A. Also in 5A, St. Augustine leading Fort Jay 18-0. Third down, 16 yards. Curtis from their own 33.
Kenny, playoff time, it doesn't get any better than this. Where have I heard that before? I tell you, the Patriots really need to make some noise. 6:26 here to go before half. Scoreless game here at Joe Yenny.
Twin receivers, Lloyd, Caldwell, and Brandt. Walters wants to throw. He will heave it deep down the sideline, and this pass is incomplete, harmlessly out of bounds. No chance for a catch into traffic, and great coverage nonetheless on the play, and it will be a punting situation. Vieira was there, and so was Keith Porter. And O'Brien will come in to punt the football away with 6:20 to play in the first half, as the Salmen side of the field rejoices, having stopped the Patriots. Each team unable to sustain anything long distance. Curtis had a couple of long runs, but the biggest one was called back earlier. O'Brien to punt it away, and Porter awaits this one, standing at about his 30. This is a good spiral, but returnable. Here's Porter from the 33. Boxed in and hammered at the 35. Great coverage and a great tackle. Big time hit. And Salmen gets the ball back with 6:10 to play in the first half. Joey LaBella, who kicks for this Curtis team, makes the stop and gets congratulated. Fine family he comes from. Good people. I know them well. And the Spartans get it. And again with positive field position at their own 35.
You have to watch this kid, Keith Porter. He has returned 3 punts for touchdowns in the 1995 season, an all-state punt return specialist in 1994, but he's bottled up by the Patriots special team.
Here's a new look. straight eye formation. Oh, and Green is ripped at the line of scrimmage by 99 Tony Mitchell from nose tackle, who slid down to hammer Chris Green down. Mitchell, a good college prospect, all East Bank performer, and it's great to see him playing football so well. He missed all of last season with a torn knee cartilage.
He'll have to switch to linebacker in college, but he's an unknown commodity. He's proven he's back from knee surgery. A lot of state schools are looking at him. He takes a lot of double teams on the interior for the Patriots.
And wide right on second down, keeping his Dale. And look at Brandon Dale with a speed. Brandon Dale with a first down, but a flag down. As he gets to the Curtis 45, O'Brien makes the tackle, but this one will likely work against the Spartans for holding. Well, Brandon Dale has tremendous speed. LSU very high on this young man. As a safety or wide receiver, he runs a 4.5 40. Let's get the call here from Mike
Holding
Hill.
on the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, replay, second down.
Dale has high jump 6'10". He's long jump 22.5 feet. He can really do it.
And you said 4.5 speed. He'll be a safety or wide receiver at the next level. His heart belongs to LSU, but Tulane and USL are also looking at him. Kenny, he's 35-3 as a starting quarterback at Salmen.
2nd and 20 to 25. Quick drop. Dale wants to go deep. He does. Sideline and out of bounds as the wind got hold of that pass intended for Mark Enright. Carried it out of bounds. Brandt was over there defensively, and it will be 3rd down and 20. Well, each team has seen itself stopped by penalties here in the first half.
Yes, and also the Patriots seem to have figured out Dwayne Woods thus far. The big ball carrier thus far is Jonathan Wells for the Patriots. He's done a lot of damage, but two teams it's like two heavyweight boxers just kind of filling each other out right now with a little over 5 minutes to go here before the halftime break.
The Curtis defense awfully good. They have shut out 4 opponents this year. Here's Dale on the keeper. Watch out. He has speed to the outside. He gets a block. And he's dragged down short of the first down up around the 40. He gets 15 yards, but he needed 20. Clarence LeBlanc played it well in the open field. Boy, he's a sure tackler. This Dale, though, can really fly. He is a better runner than passer. Just an outstanding athlete, as mentioned.
Well, he's got 900 yards in total offense, passing and running, but he knows what to do with the ball when he gets the ball tucked under his arm. A 6 feet, 165-pound prospect can really turn it upside. And you see Clarence LeBlanc using that sidelines and really just pushing him out of bounds, stopping the clock with 5:01 to go.
Dale to punt it away now. Brandt and LeBlanc are deep. And this kick toward the sideline gets a Salmen bounce and will roll out of bounds near the Curtis 34-yard line. So the Patriots, with 4:55 to play in the half, start with pretty decent field position for a change with no score. Well, we figured this would be a low-scoring game. These defenses are simply too good. Both coaches thought it would be a lot like last year's game in the Superdome, in which only 19 points were scored. The winner of this game plays the winner of the Wassman-St. Thomas More game. Wassman seemingly always alive at this stage of the season.
Good look at the defense right there. Kenny, there's so much team speed on Salmen, it would be hard-pressed to think back with a team with more team speed than the Spartans possess.
Burris back in at quarterback. Twin receivers right. Tight end Lilly tucked in on the left side. And they run the option, and here's the pitch to Wells. He gets a block. But look at the pursuit. Man, these guys just run so well. There is no lack of speed at any position on this defense. That play looked like it was well devised, well blocked, but it doesn't matter. When you have that kind of speed defensively, you're not going to get outside on this team. Brendel and Bell make the stop.
And Burris did a good job of reading right here to defensive end. Pitches back, a good pitch. But Wells has nowhere to go. They bottle him up. A good block downfield by Strawn. But good coverage by Brandon Bell, who turns it upfield. He's a first-year starter. They pick on him a lot when a team passes. But Ken, he's done a good job at his corner position.
An official timeout. Tony Cunningham forced to leave. Might have an abrasion and got sent off the field. So Curtis has to send in a replacement. It is Dean Cortez to replace him, it appears. Cortez, 5'9", 190 pounds, and a junior. He's over the football, in fact. And they move Holloway to tackle, the normal center. Strong, nothing. Strawn knocked down by Danny Marks, who had the penetration. And it's 3rd down and long. Marks has been all over the field early. He had a touchdown against Glen Oaks in a victory over that very talented team. And you can see right here, he just got great penetration.
And Danny Marks makes the tackle. He's a leading tackler. He makes all the calls. He's being looked at closely by LSU, Tulane, and Nichols State, along with USL. But Danny Marks plays sideline on sideline with that 4.7 speed, Ken. He's a tenacious linebacker, a 6', 220-pound prospect.
Caldwell into the game with a play on 3rd and 8. Burris, the quarterback, twin receivers right. Adams and Caldwell. In motion now is Ryan Adams. He'll go across the formation, and they took too much time. They have been threatening to do this throughout this entire first half, as they take a whole lot of time getting those plays in from the sideline.
On the offense.
And this is the way they play the game.
Go 5.
They like to have that clock run down. Time of possession. They feel like, Renee, they have the physical advantage over most teams that they'll play, and they'll try to dominate time of possession and keep the opponent's defense on the field as much as possible, and that's one of the reasons for that tactic.
Well, the size advantage and athleticism goes up front, perhaps to the Curtis Patriot offensive front. But boy, I tell you what, it's tough to match up with the speed against Salmen. So it's size against speed, and it's been pretty much of a draw thus far.
Split backs once again. In motion across the formation goes Brandt on 3rd and 13. And they give him to Wells, and he'll be well short of a first down. Down to the 35-yard line and driven back. And a punting situation for Curtis. Boy, these defenses have been in control. Kevin Porter up from strong safety to make a strong tackle on a strong runner. And a punting situation for Curtis again.
Kevin Porter, what a story he is. We'll get back to that. You see Jonathan Wells leaving the field, but Keith Porter drops back in coverage. Him and his brother, his twin brother, Kevin Porter, have been a story, and we'll get more in detail as the game goes on.
O'Brien to punt it away. Porter deep, standing at about his 27. Low snap. And whistles are blowing. That ball touchdown is his knee touchdown at about the 20-yard line. And that is going to give Salmen the football at the Curtis 20. A low snap, as mentioned. And if your knee touches the ground with the ball in your hands, by Federation rules, the ball is dead at that point. And this is a huge play in the game. And it comes on special teams with 3:14 to play in the half. Watch it again.
Ken, you can see right here, his knee appears to touch the ground. Official is right there. Well, he's blocking our vision, but his knee touches the ground.
Oh, yeah, it's a great shot by our guys.
And a good call.
But that's your instinct, to go down and get the ball. You try to pick it up. It's a hot potato. That's just a tough play for the young man O'Brien in that situation. He did all he could. And here's Salmen with the first great opportunity in the game. In right, wide right, everybody else tight. Strong left formation. Counter play. Oh, Crawford is smashed. Ripped by Chris Johnson, the 6'1", 242-pound junior. And a loss of a couple. It will be 2nd and 12. Near the 22 as Coach Curtis signals in the defense that he wants to have here. Of course, Leon Curtis, the defensive coordinator of the Patriots. Big opportunity for the Spartans, and somehow you've got to figure number 22 will get his hands on the ball, as he did not there. Play fake, Dale, rolling, throwing, flag down, pass caught, and yardage to the 10, and inside the 10 and down to the 6-yard line on the reception is Chris Green. LeBlanc on the stop, but a flag down.
And it's coming back, Ken.
Boy, every time one of these teams makes a big play, a penalty negates it. It's holding on Salmen.
Brandon Dale showed some wizardry there, handling the ball, rolling out to his right with a deft pass and faking with the ball. Hits his receiver Green, but it's going to come back. Good blocking. Boy, had that play held up, the Spartans were knocking on the door.
Bill Stubbs very frustrated, as you might imagine. Good throw by Dale, and Green is really a good receiver.
Holding, White. Replay, 2nd down.
10-yard penalty. 2:12 to play in the half. Salmen now has it at their Curtis 31-yard line, and the play comes in from the sideline. Brandon Bell comes in. We see him on the other side of the ball frequently. Now we see him on the offensive side. He'll split wide right. Strong formation right. 3 receivers to that side. Dale with time. Now rolling right. He'll throw it. It is caught. A great catch. Down at about the 25-yard line. A leaping catch by Enright. That was not Enright. That was Tyrone Roberts, the tight end. Roberts, the 6', 200-pound junior, with a terrific catch. The returning starter goes up to get this one.
He frees the defense with a fake pitch to Woods, and he rolls right in a high throw, but Roberts pulls it down, and the junior tight end is going to be quite a player. Only a junior, 6 feet, 200 pounds, Kenny. A good blocker, a second-year player. He will be a prospect in '96.
Get an official timeout now. And they're discussing things with the Salmen sideline at the moment. Doesn't look like it's going to be any long stoppage of play. They get things sorted out. We'll take the timeout with 1:45 to play. No score on the Cox Cable Prep Football Game of the Week.
Are you a frustrated Saints fan? Studies show that internalizing your frustration with the Saints' poor performance may cause a variety of physical and mental disorders, such as slurred speech, schizophrenia, and most seriously, a bagophobia. Fanatics has a cure. Join our studio audience live every Sunday at 5 p.m. at the Fanatics Recovery Clinic, 338 Edwards Avenue in the Cox Elmwood studio, to vent your frustration or...
On 3rd down, Dwayne Woods gets the ball and rambles down to the 16-yard line, short of a first down. They're lacking about 6 yards to make a first, and a timeout is taken with 1:27 to play. A decision to be made with no score. We'll keep it right here. They have an excellent kicker in Patrick Green, his brother of Chris Green, and again to Mr. Stubbs, who's done such a marvelous job. Here's the play by Woods, an 8-yard run.
You can see he's not flash and dash, Kenny. He's got tremendous power in his legs. Not sure how much he lifts. He is a pretty powerful young man, 185-pound prospect, 4.3 speed, great vision. He's got the total package. He will be a super blue chipper in 1996.
So the discussion going on as to what's going to be done here. Curtis has outscored their opponents this year, 374 to 73. They average 34 points a game. They allow only 6.8 points per game. Alarmingly similar to the Hanville numbers. They average 35.3 per game and allow 4.9 per contest. Mirror images in many ways, these teams. Even though they play differently, the results are similar.
2 excellent coaching
staffs. 6 yards to go, and it looks like they'll go for it in this situation. I mentioned Green's a fine kicker, but they're kicking into the wind, and it's swirling, and they'll go for it. Receivers to either side, biggest play of the game, forthcoming. Quick snap. Dale keeping it. Rolling right, gets a block, cuts in, he might score. He will! Touchdown, Salmen! Brandon Dale from 16 yards out, and the Spartans take the lead with 1:21 to play in the half.
Very adept at ball handling, Kenny. He sucked that defense in with a fake to Dwayne Woods. They were expecting number 22 to get the ball. You can see right here, everyone goes with number 22, Brandon Dale, unscathed around the right corner. He's practically untouched. Goes into the end zone, quite a scamper. Throws that 4.5 speed, Kenny, and only got one hand on him, but puts the Salmen Spartans ahead, 6-0.
Green for the extra point. Good snap. And the kick is through there. A line drive effort. Timeout on the field. 1:21 to play first half. The defending state champion Salmen Spartans 7 and the John Curtis Patriots nothing on the Cox Cable Prep Football Game of the Week.
Want to learn the most about your cable service? Get ready.
For it, and a good thing they did. Great execution. The Patriots went for the fake with Mr. Woods, and here's what Mr. Dale did.
That was a 20-yard scamper around the right side by Brandon Dale, and puts the Salmen Spartans ahead 7-0. That drive, 4 plays, 20 yards, 50 seconds off the clock. Dale with a 16-yard scamper on the touchdown run. 7-0. Salmen with 1:21 remaining. Ken.
Set up by the special teams mistake of Curtis, the first huge mistake, and the Patriots paid dearly. Green to kick it off. Strawn, Pierce, as you saw a moment ago, and Wells deep to receive. From the left hash, he hits it very well. Here's from his 7. Up the middle. Makes one cut. Look at the pursuit. Down at the 22. Great special teams by Salmen. Brandon Bell was there, along with number 5, Keith Porter. And with 1:14 to play in the first half, the Patriots will start from about their 23-yard line, trailing 7-0. Do you try anything here? I should think not.
No. You're too deep in your own territory, and Salmen has the weapons to strike from this distance.
Burris, the quarterback. Holloway is back at center, and Cunningham is back in the game at tackle as the headmaster of John Curtis Christian School prowls the sideline. Mr. Curtis. And a big hole. Wells breaks a tackle. Wells close to a first down, appears to have it. And about the 35, Kevin Porter makes the stop. Not to beat a dead horse, but that is what they have to do. And they simply have to stick with it until the opposing team can stop them. First down, Curtis.
Well, that's their bread and butter. Jonathan Wells with the ball tucked in his arm. And he looks like he's got a cramp. He's going to, maybe a sprained ankle, Ken. That would be bad news for the Patriots if this was an injury.
He's their biggest threat, and he is hurt and limping off and not happy. It's his left leg, some portion of his left leg. Now he's able to put his foot down a little bit, but not very well. And we will monitor that situation closely. Brad Corcoran replaces him with 52 seconds to play here in the first half. Split backs behind Burris. Hurry up offense. Quick snap. Burris wants to throw and does sideline, and it's caught. Caldwell first down to the Salmen 44. Well thrown ball by Andy Burris, and David Caldwell, the senior captain, with a 16-yard touchdown catch and a win over Cohen, makes the reception, stops the clock with 45 seconds to play in the half.
David Caldwell with a great route, 4.7 speed, hits that corner, Kenny, and he knows just where to go with it to stop the clock. After he got as much as he could out of that play, he hit the sidelines, but a good throw by Andy Burris. He's become an outstanding quarterback as the 1995 season has progressed.
LeBlanc and Brandt come in with a play from the sideline. Curl and Caldwell exit. Lilly, tight end, will be split to the left, twin receivers to the right. Burris wants to throw with time. He wants to go deep, and LeBlanc had stopped, and the pass goes incomplete. LeBlanc had stopped his route at about the 26. Coverage by Vieira. There's a good matchup, 6'4" against 6'4", and a couple of big hitters. And this pass was too long, and it stops the clock with 40 seconds to play in the half.
This game is not for the faint of heart, Ken. I tell you, there's so many prospects out here. 6 college prospects wearing white of Salmen. 10 college prospects for the John Curtis Patriots. So you can bet the college recruiters are watching this game very closely. Good pass right here. Just a misread by Clarence LeBlanc and Andy Burris. One on the same page.
LeBlanc split wide right, along with Brandt. Single receiver left. Burris under pressure. He'll throw a screen, and it's caught. Strawn has it, gets 1 block. He gets 2 blocks. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. He breaks a tackle. He's down to the 13-yard line. First down, Patriots with 28 seconds to play. Vieira and Porter on the stop. Great call, perfect execution. Now the Patriots want to get the play without having to utilize a timeout. I do believe they have 1 left. We shall see. Clock hasn't started yet. The Patriots at the line of scrimmage with 28 seconds to play in the half. Burris sets them down. Receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. The snap. Burris rolling left. Gets a block. He'll throw on the flat. Caught. Corcoran inside the 5. Corcoran scores! Touchdown, Patriots! Yards, Andy Burris to Brad Corcoran. And now the attempt to tie the game. Forthcoming from Joey LaBella. Curtis runs that swinging gate. Now they'll line it up. Burris is the holder. Good snap. And a good kick. And with 20 seconds to play in the first half, we're tied again. It's John Curtis 7 and Salmen 7 on the Cox Cable Prep Football Game of the Week.
Are you a frustrated Saints fan? Studies show that
By the Patriots in short order to get even, and Andy Burris was superb on that drive.
That was 5 plays, 76 yards, consuming 56 seconds off the clock. Andy Burris with a 13-yard touchdown toss to Brad Cochran. The extra point was good. 20 seconds remaining here before the halftime break. All knotted up at 7 apiece, Salmen and Curtis.
They're working on Jonathan Wells. It appears to be his ankle that they're working on the bench. We'll check that out. Let's see if Labella wants to kick it deep or kick it short. It's not going to be Labella. It's going to be Brad Corcoran, it appears, to kick it off. Dangerous return men await this one. Porter and Hochar. And they kick it to a short man of the 18 up the middle. 25-30. Porter breaks a tackle, fights across the 35 to the 38. That's Keith Porter. And with 13 seconds left, the Spartans with one more possession here in the first half, tied at 7.
Kenny, I want to mention this quickly. That touchdown pass to Corcoran was poetic justice. The prior play, the toss to Mike Strawn when he ran down the field, it was quite a play, quite a block that Corcoran made.
Let's set down to field level for this update from Lance Jacob.
Thank you, gentlemen. Very quickly, Jonathan Wells turned his left ankle. He's in severe pain on the bench. He appears to be getting a little bit better. They will examine him further at halftime, and we'll have an update for you after the end of the half.
All right, Lance, a good look at Wells as the half has expired here at Joe Yenny Stadium. Packed house, standing room only, and quite a game. Number 1, Salmen, 7. Number 2, John Curtis, 7. We're back with our halftime show with Lance.
Brandt and Clarence LeBlanc use their individual skills to play as one in the John Curtis secondary. Brandt relies on finesse as the team's true cover corner, while LeBlanc's the team's enforcer. He's the big physical safety. LeBlanc and Brandt seem to complement each other with different skills.
They do. Ricky's a corner who can really cover. He's got great jumping skills. He can leap. He's a starter in a basketball team, and a lot of times people look at him and think maybe they can run past him, which they can't do, and then he's able to out-jump him when the ball's thrown. Clarence has got a chance to make big plays. He's played well. I think he has 6 interceptions, 2 for touchdowns. He's the kind of guy that can intimidate you with the run and can also play the pass. So he's played very well for us.
LeBlanc's size makes him a threat to any ball carrier, and Clarence has no problem with letting his opponents know it. Is intimidation a big part of your game?
Yeah, kind of. I try to intimidate the running backs and the wide receivers, you know. Run into the ball, that's my job.
I'm not going to come up and put the big pop on somebody, but if I had to, I'd do that. I'm more of a get in the right spot at the right time and come down with the big play. And I guess I'll make plays. That's what I do. I like the ball in my hands, and no question about it.
Both players say they will miss the Curtis experience, and both players want their final high school game to be indoors. Our thanks to AAA Sporting Goods for their support the entire year of our prep football coverage. John, the first half is now history. Has it been going the way you expected in the pregame show?
I would think it did. You know, they wanted to both try to run the football, pass only when need be, and I think that's what they did. I think you'll find they're going to both go back to that also.
Okay, we're all tied up at 7. Let's head upstairs for all the stats. Renee and Kenny.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Good job and a good game. 7-7 at the break. John Curtis and Salmen, the Spartans getting on top late in the first half. It looked like they'd get to the break with the lead, but the Patriots
on Cox Cable is brought to you by Kenner on the Move. Bone Ford in New Orleans, your 15-minute confidence dealership. And Cox Cable, star quality guaranteed.
At the Pontchartrain Center in Kenner, 5 cents goes a long way. The Pontchartrain Center has over 35,000 square feet of exhibit space and 6 spacious meeting rooms, all for just 5 cents a square foot. If you're looking for a place to hold your next convention, meeting, seminar, or banquet, Kenner's Pontchartrain Center is New Orleans' newest meeting alternative. All meal functions are catered by Marie's to assure the finest in banquet cuisine. When you're looking for a quality convention or meeting facility with affordable rates, call the Pontchartrain Center in Kenner.
3.9.
3.9. 3.9. Yes, 3.9% on two of America's favorite vehicles, Ford Escort and Ford Ranger at the original Bone Ford in New Orleans. 95 Escort, only $94.95, and it's got air. Get 3.9 and get moving on the 95 Ranger XLT, only $10,795, and it's loaded. Your 15-minute dealer, the original Bone Ford in New Orleans, is on the move. This is a limited time offer, so get moving.
Recall a time someone was helpful. Think about it. How did it make you feel? That was quality service. We know that you expect quality, and we're here to see that you get it. A bank can be a lot more than just a place to keep your money. We can introduce you to new financial services which can make money, save money, or at least make banking a little easier. The next time somebody asks you to recall a time someone was helpful, we hope you'll think of us. Omni Bank, member FDIC, the quality bank.
Orleans Steel Products, proudly serving southern Louisiana for over 75 years with copper, aluminum, painted metals, galvanized, and stainless steel. Call us at 525-2116 for any of your sheet metal needs.
The Prep Football Playoff Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by River Parish Disposal. Support the company that supports prep football. To solve your disposal needs, call 738-7700. And remember, our business stinks, but it's picking up.
Having deferred to start the ball game, and Brett Corcoran has kickoff duties, and deep to receive for Salmen will be Porter and Woods. A good look at Keith Porter, along with Dwayne Woods back there. You talk about potency in your return game. It's about as good as it gets. One half of football left to determine a state semifinalist in Class 4A. Two teams which have won the last couple of state championships respectively in this classification. One will earn the right to move on and try to capture another. Huge game tonight. J.T. Curtis, by the way, trying to reach a milestone, looking for his 300th career victory tonight. Here's the kick on the ground by Corcoran. That's respect. Picked up at the 20-yard line. And cutting back and down at the 27-yard line is Brandon Bell. And that's where Salmen will start its initial possession of the second half. Charles Thimes was there to make the stop. Here is the Salmen offense with Swally, Gillikin, Captabosk, Thompson, and Gibson. And, of course, the injury to Gibson earlier necessitated him leaving, replaced by 73 Edwards. Dale, Woods, Green in the backfield, Enright, Watson, and Roberts are the receivers. Wide side of the field, the left side. Enright splits out to that side. Straight I formation, Green and Woods. And they give to Woods. And Woods is hit and dropped at about the 31. Sliding down to make the stop, Jason Smith along with Vic Valoria, the two inside linebackers. Valoria just a sophomore. Here's the Curtis defense with Crane, Mitchell, and Johnson across the front. They've done a good job thus far. Pritchard, Smith, Valoria, and Norman, the linebackers. We see LaBella as well there. Brandt, Howard, LeBlanc, and O'Brien in the secondary. We see Guthrie back there and Nietzsche as well. Second down, and we'll call it a short 7. And this is Woods. And Woods evades one tackle and another, and he gets across the 35 out to about the 36. He is slippery, isn't he? Jason Smith on the stop, and now a late flag. A late flag. And it looked like Woods was involved in that. And LeBlanc pats him on the head after it's over with. And we'll see who this works against. I believe against John Curtis, and either way, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. We'll see. It was apparently Woods involved in that. And the officials will discuss this at length to determine just what they will infract here against the respective offender.
It takes two to tango, Ken, and I'm sure there's some discussion here. Ricky Brandt, number 2, putting his 2 cents. Hopefully he can sway the officials one way or the other.
Long discussion. Salmen has won 23 consecutive games coming into this one. Streaks, streaks, and more streaks. They're all over the place where this game is concerned. Curtis has won 64 consecutive regular season games. They're still discussing this thing. Well, it's either a penalty or it's not. And we're not sure which way it's going to go. Now perhaps we'll get the call.
We have dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, blue. And we have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct this way. They offset.
One occurred during the play. The other occurred dead ball after the play, according to the interpretation. So they do offset. Business is business, and it's third down. And just under 2 yards to go, the 36. About 1.5 yards officially to make. And still a delay. Finally, the whistle blows. And play will resume. Well, they've gotten the ball in the hands of Woods twice already. He only touched it 6 times in the first half, and he's their money man. High formation. And Dale keeps, and Dale breaks a tackle and has a first down. Brandon Dale. Good effort before LeBlanc has to come up to make the stop. It's a first down, Salmen, on a pickup of 3. Let's check in with Lance Jacob down at field level. Lance?
Thanks a lot, gentlemen. A couple of injury updates to report on. Alec Gibson may not return. His right foot did not respond to treatment at halftime. It is very doubtful that he will return. Bad news here on the John Curtis sideline as well. Jonathan Wells is done for the day. His left ankle injury did not respond at all to treatment. They fear it's serious. He will not play tonight. Back upstairs.
Big losses. Here's Woods. Woods across the 40, breaking tackles, still fighting across the 45. Man, he is good. Near the 46 before Jason Howard can wrap him up. He really hasn't had much room to operate with tonight, but he's making yards anyway.
Well, you haven't had a chance to see the real Dwayne Woods this evening. He's been breaking tackles, but his strong suit is his breakaway speed. 4.3 in the 40, Ken. He's got tremendous vision. They compare him to a younger Emmitt Smith or Barry Sanders, but he can cut on a dime, and he can make something out of nothing, and he's just been bottled up thus far.
2nd and 4, the 45. Enright splits right. Everybody else tight. And the option, Dale pitches, and Woods bobbles it out of bounds. That's going to be a first down for Salmen. If you're going to fumble it out of bounds and forward, and that's what he did. And it's across midfield and at the Curtis 49, I do believe. First down, Salmen.
But the thing is, they want to test, they want to make sure that Curtis becomes more outside conscious, and they're going to pop something up the middle. But they want to make sure with the speed, they're going to spread out that defense a little bit.
Woods continues to get the ball here, as I suggested, early in the second half. You've got to get the ball in the hands of your best player offensively. That player for Curtis, as Lance mentioned, is Jonathan Wells, and he apparently is done for the game. Enright splits wide right, everybody else tight again. Quick snap. Woods sprints across the 45 and down to about the 44. He gets about 5 more before Brad Guthrie can make the stop. Gives him an opportunity to read, lining up so deep, Renee, about 8 yards behind the quarterback.
That's about 1 yard deeper than they normally do. Most tailbacks are about 7 yards, 7.5. He's at 8 yards and gives him a little more vision, but he's got the speed to make up for that extra yard or so. And boy, he slices through that defense. You really can't get a good shot at Dwayne Woods. Only 5'10", 185, but he packs a wallop when he hits you.
3 guys got a hand on him, couldn't bring him down. He's bigger than last year. He's gained weight, continues to grow. 5'10", 185. Second down, a short 6. This is Woods. This time, nothing. He is hit hard and down near the line of scrimmage. As sliding over to make the stop was Tony Mitchell, 99, along with Jason Smith, 42. It will be third down. This Smith has had a good game. And a key fumble recovery and a play for J.T. Curtis at John Curtis Christian High School.
Well, he's the strongest player to ever strap on a Curtis uniform, a nationally ranked lifter.
3rd and 5, the 44, and here's Woods. And Woods has a first down. He's down to the Curtis 35. It's Dwayne Woods, folks. You're seeing him now. 9 yards, first down. Spartans. O'Brien on the stop. Well, they didn't have the ball very much in the first half. This is an impressive long drive.
And Dwayne Woods is following his blockers, makes a cut. He's turned inside by Pritchard. Oh, I'm sorry, turned inside by one of the linebackers, cuts it back. He's tackled, but he has a first down. A good run by Dwayne Woods.
Enright and Green with excellent blocks. Everyone tight in this formation. Power football, folks. Here's Woods. He fights forward, keeps those Pistons churning, and he's down to about the 32. Has a couple. Tough yardage there, and he'll take that tough yardage. Jason Smith was there again. Pritchard was there as well. Scott Pritchard, the 6', 200-pound senior from his outside linebacker spot, a returning starter.
We talked about Jason Smith, Kenny. He's being looked at by Nebraska, Florida State, Texas A&M, LSU, Auburn, Notre Dame, Tulane, and Southern Cal. He bench presses in excess of 370 pounds.
Wayne Woods comes out, gets a blow. Keith Porter replaces him and gets the ball, trying to get outside. He's going to be hit and ridden out of bounds near the 30-yard line. They tried to go to the short side of the field, and Jason Howard was there and equal to the task and rode him out of bounds. It will be 3rd down and about 6 yards to go.
Jason Howard, a cornerback. He can play cornerback or free safety. He comes up from his cornerback position here to meet the ball carrier and escorts him out of bounds. Just really played well off that blocker, Kenny. He fought off the blocker and did an outstanding job of reading outside, inside out, and stopped him for virtually no gain.
It's still Keith Porter in a tailback. Woods still on the sideline. Salmen signaling that they want a timeout, and they'll get one as Dale finally gets that signal and relays it to the officials, and timeout is given with 7:24 to play left in the 3rd quarter. It's Salmen 7 and John Curtis 7 on the Cox Cable Prep Football Game of the Week.
I made the move.
I made the move.
I made the move.
Everybody.
Orleans Steel Products, Ross Smith, sponsoring this game, and Joey Helm over at Helm Paint and Supply, great supporter of prep football in recent years and making it possible here tonight, along with Weldon Frohmeyer and River Parish Disposal, another great supporter of prep football. 3rd down from the 31-yard line, 6 yards to go. And the timeout enabled the Spartans to get Dwayne Woods back on the field. He lines up deep and gets the ball and evades a tackle, but goes down after a gain of a couple. Maybe 3 to the 28. It's going to be 4th and 3, and the Spartans went for it in a situation like this in the first half and scored a touchdown. You would imagine they'll do so again. We mentioned Coach Curtis looking for his milestone victory. Clarence LeBlanc was there on the stop, and the Spartans do not hesitate. They will go for it here.
Well, they had a lot of success last time they were in this situation, Kenny. In fact, the last time they were 4th and long, they went for it with Brandon Dale dancing into the end zone for the first score.
2 tight ends set, everybody tight again. Woods deep in the eye. 4th down, and the give to Woods. He evades one tackle, but he's going to be hit by Clarence LeBlanc and stopped for a loss at the 30-yard line of 2 yards. What a player LeBlanc is, and when he gets his hands on you, you're not going any further.
Clarence LeBlanc, we talked about him, 6'4", 195, Ken. He's going to be an outside linebacker in college, 4.6 speed, plays the run. He's held up, he attracts the crowd. Clarence LeBlanc puts the shoulder on him. He gets some help, but what an outstanding play by a good Patriot defense. They really treat him brutally as they throw him to the ground.
Well, let's see what the Patriot offense has. Their last possession, they went down the field and scored. Of course, they're without Wells now. Burris, the quarterback, will check that offense in a moment. 2 tight ends. And the keep Burris, and he has yardage, and he's close to a first down. Near the 39, Ryan Palmer on the stop. Now, if you're going to make yardage on that option, the quarterback will be the guy keeping it inside. The further toward the sideline you go, the more trouble you're going to have against Salmen. That was well executed by Burris.
And Burris reads on the run. That's a good fake right there, dragging everybody inside. Then he fakes a pitch and gets outside. He got Keith Porter thinking outside wide, which gave him that lane to run in. And Burris dances for about a 9-yard pickup. It's 2nd and 1, Ken. And that was a good run by the quarterback, Burris.
Similar situation. They threw deep on 2nd and 1 in the first half. 5:43 and counting in the 3rd, tied at 7. Burris, he'll throw again. He's looking with time. He's going deep down the middle for Lilly. Jump ball. Intercepted, I believe it's intercepted. And let's see, they're rolling it right now. Lilly's fighting for the ball. There is a flag down. Damian Woods, it appeared, was battling with Lilly. And I thought Woods came up with the ball, despite the fact that Lilly is a lot bigger, but there is a flag down.
That's 2 players, a highly recruited Smiley Woods. Damian Smiley Wood, he answers to Damian Smiley. Made a good interception, but they're not sure who's going to be interference going to be on.
Pass interference, Salmen. Boy, that's a tough call, I've got to tell you. Woods had position. He was deep on the play. Let's watch it again.
I think what they called us on, he prevented Lilly from getting deep. But I tell you what, this could have been called on either player. Right here, both arms extended. He was going for the ball. Ken, I don't know if I agree with that call or not.
Well, I don't, and I'm not ashamed to tell you that. And look at the Salmen sideline. They are furious, and you can't blame them.
They could have gone either way. Lilly extending his hand as well as Woods. Woods puts his hand out right
Defensive
here.
pass interference. We have a simultaneous catch. Offense is football. Penalty is declined. First down.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. So negate the interference call because they give the catch to Lilly on a simultaneous catch, and Bill Stubbs is furious. That's a pass completion from Burris to Lilly, and it's to the Salmen 33. Huge play in the game. Anytime you can get Lilly in a jump ball, tug it away situation, he's going to win many of those. Strawn breaks a tackle. Strawn breaks another tackle. First down, Curtis at the Salmen 19. Mike Strawn picking up the load, the senior. Brian Palmer makes the stop, but it's a gain of 14 to the 19.
Mike Strawn running in the middle.
Here's the Curtis offense with Gamel, Harris, Holloway, Eckert, and Cunningham up front. Burris, of course, Wells out of the game. Corcoran replacing him with Strawn, Powell, Adams, and Lilly, the receivers.
And that was a good run by Strawn, Kenny, with that 4.6 speed. You have to think back. He started his career with 112 yards as a sophomore against St. Augustine, and he's been a tough back ever since that. He's being recruited. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Caldwell wide right, everybody else tight. Now they slide a tight end and put him in motion. That is Curl. And they give it straight ahead, and yardage here, 4, maybe 5. Corcoran running hard. Smith and Porter, Edrin Smith, Kevin Porter make the stop. The Salmen defense being tested here. Jackson, Williford, and Moore across the front. Smith, who just was in on the stop. Marks, Brindell, and Crawford, the linebackers. Damian Woods, Brandon Bell, Keith Porter, Kevin Porter in the secondary. Second down and 5. The play comes in from the sideline with James Powell. Boy, they take a lot of time, again, getting this play into the game. Powell splits wide to the right. Everybody else is tight. Patriots hustle to the line of scrimmage. 2 tight end look. Burris with a man in motion curl. Gives it on the slant to Corcoran, down for a yard. A yard gain to about the 13 before he's ripped down by Ty Williford, the nose tackle. The 6 foot, 190-pound senior, and a big third down and 4 play forthcoming.
And Williford, he's really given away a lot of weight. He's only 6 feet, 190 pounds, Kenny. He's really an outside linebacker playing at the nose tackle. He's a transfer from Texas, came here as an outside linebacker, a senior, but he's fitted at nose tackle, done an outstanding job for the Salmen Spartans.
3rd and 4 at the 13. And the slant, and Corcoran has a first down and goal, John Curtis, at about the 7-yard line as he gets 6. Good blocking, and Keith Porter makes the stop. And again, the inside veer, Renee.
Yes, it is, and that's working really working well for the Patriots right off a left guard, and credit that inside push for giving Corcoran some room. He's a load, 205 pounds, only a junior. And great blocking by Holloway, Harris, and Eckert. And it looks like the Patriots are owning the pit right now, the offensive front.
Brindell a little slow getting up, but he's in the game, and okay. Powell comes in with a play for Burris from the sideline. 3:30 and counting in the 3rd. Tied at 7. The Patriots are threatening. Getting encouragement from the sideline. Standing room only crowd watching here at Yenny. Powell to the right. 2 tight ends and the split backs behind Burris. Strawn. Score! Strawn from 7 yards out, and the Patriots take the lead with 3:12 to play in the 3rd.
Strawn comes squirting out of the pile here. He just kept those feet going, Kenny. Never let up. Twisting and turning. Squirts into the end zone. And Woods gets ahead of him, but it's still too late as Strawn puts the Patriots ahead 13-7 here with 3:12 remaining in the 3rd stanza.
Joey LaBella to try the extra point. And it is blocked. This is a live football. And no good. Okay. Wrong level. Well, you watch games on every level and you forget for a moment which level you're watching. Can't pick that up in returning. Bubba Hotard apparently got it. Remember that. It comes with 3:12 to play in the third. It's the Patriots 13 and the Spartans 7 on the Cox Cable Prep Football Game of the Week. Well, the Patriots have now scored on their last 2 possessions as they take the lead in this one.
And this drive, 70 yards, 7 plays, 3:28 on the clock. Mike Strawn, the little hound, on a 7-yard scamper. The extra point was no good. So with 3:12 remaining here in the third period, the Patriots lead 13-7 over Salmen.
Elsewhere in 5A, Hanville and St. Aug seemingly on their way to advancing to the semifinals. Hanville leads John Eyre at 23-7 late in the third quarter. St. Aug all over Fort Jay. 24-0 was the last report. The Purple Knights are playing great. Corcoran to kick it off. Hits it on the ground, and they're expecting this. This is Damian Woods. Look at Damian Woods. He's across the 45 to the 47-yard line. The other Woods, and he's terrific. Damian gives Salmen great field position. Number 40, Mike Paulin on the stop. With 3:06 to play in the third, the Spartans get the field position that they so desperately want. They owned it in the first half. They started their drives in great shape, averaging starting at the 41-yard line, while Curtis started their drives from inside their own 20. Dwayne Woods getting it going here in the second half. 15 carries, 63 yards now. 2:54 to play in the third. First down, Spartans. And Woods gets it. Evades one tackle and another and gets it out to the 49. He had nowhere to go, but he just kept picking his way. Gets a couple before Jason Howard and Cliff Crane can make the stop.
He sure attracts a crowd, though, doesn't he, Kenny? That front three, Crane, Mitchell, and Johnson of Curtis, have done an outstanding job. And Yeoman's effort this evening against a solid up front for Salmen Spartans. But Dwayne Woods is really, he's being keyed on so much. As soon as he touches the ball, he really draws a crowd.
Sooner or later, they're going to fake it to him, and Dale's going to roll the other way as he did earlier. You have to know that. Dale is rolling here, wants to throw, and does. Downfield, incomplete. Tried to get it to Robinson, a diving attempt. Pretty good coverage on the play. Clarence LeBlanc was back there. And it will be third down and 8 yards to go. Clock stops with 2:09 to play in the third.
Brandon Dale, they think he's one of the best athletes to ever put on a Salmen uniform. And we mentioned Tulane, LSU, and USL are hot on his trail. 35-3 as a quarterback, and that speaks in volumes the competition they play week in and week out.
The dominance of Curtis manifested in many ways. They've won 18 consecutive district titles. Of course, those 12 state championships, 3rd and 8, quick snap. Quarterback draw. Dale trying to get away, squirts forward to about the 46. Boy, they had him wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, but he just kept those legs pumping. Again, the extra effort we've seen all night from many runners. Crane makes the stop. 4th down. Let's see. They might go for it here. Let us see. Remember now, Dale is the punter. And now they make a couple of changes, and it looks like they'll probably punt with the changes we're seeing, and they will. It would be quite a gamble on 4th and 3 as we watch the quarterback draw again, a design play.
And Dale shows he knows what to do with the ball tucked under his arm. He broke away from Cliff Crane right here and almost got the first down, just didn't have enough muster in him to get it over the first down marker.
Curtis not expecting the punt. They're just dropping a couple of guys back. Dale gets the snap. He will punt it away. Kicks it toward LeBlanc. Takes it at his 15, going across the field against this team. That's tough, but he gets it across the 20. Look at this kid, 25 out to the 28. Yeah, he's a load. Good return. He gets it near the 29 with about 1:10 to play in the third. Bubba Hotard makes the stop, and the Patriot offense back on the field. That's not what Salmen wanted, 3 and out. They just haven't been able to keep their defense off the field, and that's bad news because this Curtis team is so big. They're just going to wear you down.
Yes, they do. They have the athletes, and you see Clarence LeBlanc knows what to do with the ball. He usually puts the hat on the ball carrier, but when he's got the ball tucked under his arm, he knows what to do with the ball, and he's brought down rudely here by a Salmen Spartan, Bubba Hotard, but Curtis, with just 1 minute left here in the third period, looked to be in control thus far in the second half.
Splitting wide left is Powell. Strawn, 53 yards and a touchdown thus far. Salmen with 10 men in the box area, looking for the run, getting the run, and stuffing the run, as you might expect. Boy, they really sold out there, Renee. They committed 10 men to within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage, and Corcoran had nowhere to go. Wrapped up on the play by Chris Brindell, 36, the senior inside linebacker. It's second down and still about 10 to go. Third quarter winding down, 25 seconds and counting. Probably only one play remaining in this quarter, as the play comes in from Caldwell from the sideline. Caldwell will split to the left. Again, the tight formation otherwise. Under 10 seconds and counting. In motion, Caldwell. And the keeper, Burris. And the pitch. Look at this pursuit. Man, oh man. I've made my point enough. Keith Porter makes the stop as the third quarter comes to a close. And we have got ourselves the kind of game that we expected, and hopefully that you expected, as we see the young man is slow to get up, and they've had some injury problems in their backfield already. At the end of 3 quarters, it's John Curtis, 13, and Salmen 7 on the Cox Cable Prep Football Game of the Week.
Are you a frustrated Saints fan? Studies show that internalizing your frustration with the Saints' poor performance may cause...
And now Aaron Pierce, the sophomore, checks in. He and Corcoran will man the backfield spots. It's 3rd and 7 Patriots at their own 32. They lead 13-7 as we begin the final quarter of play.
And Pierce reminds you of Randy Brown, used to play here a few years back, went to Mississippi State, but Pierce and Corcoran will be the foot soldiers for the Patriots.
Burris under center. Motion across the formation. Powell. Burris falls down. On the exchange, he really collided hard with Corcoran, and from that impetus, he fell down, and a loss of a yard and a punting situation. We'll get a report on you for Mike Strawn in just a few minutes, as he is tended to on the sideline, and now a punting situation for Curtis. O'Brien to punt. Remember, it was a botched punt attempt earlier in the game that resulted in Salmen's only score from about this spot on the field. He stands at his 15 now. He was at his 20 earlier on the low snap. Curtis taking a lot of time here. I mean, a whole lot of time. They're going to give up field position here. I'm not sure why, because it was 4th and 8. A penalty would not have given them a first down. I'm not sure what they were trying to accomplish there. Of course, we're up here, so we don't know.
And it didn't do us any good to speculate.
So we won't. What I do know is it costs them 5 more yards. And now it's 4th and 13 from the 25. It gives Salmen a better chance yet. Keith Porter deep to receive this punt. Snap is good here. Good rush, and he just got it off straight up. Gets a bounce, however, in favor of the Patriots, and goes out of bounds near the 43-yard line in Salmen territory. Good pressure up the middle there as the punt goes 26 yards, no return. Let's check in with Lance Jacob, who has an injury report.
Gentlemen, news not good for the John Curtis backfield. Mike Strawn is in serious pain on his right ankle. He says someone accidentally fell on it while he was being tackled. They do not expect him to play. That's the preliminary word. He will not play tonight. Back upstairs.
So it looks like the starting backfield is done. Strawn and Wells. And now Salmen from the 49-yard line. High formation. Woods gets the ball. Woods sprints across the 45 to the 50. He has about 7. Dwayne Woods has run well, making a lot of his own yardage. Vic Valoria makes the stop, along with Brad Guthrie. He has not popped out of that pack to make the big play yet, but he'll have many more chances.
Kenny, expert spotter Buddy Dennis points out that the reason the Curtis Patriots took so long is they did not have enough men on the field, so they just took the penalty to put 11th men on the field. So even more match.
Good reason to take the penalty. Here's a first down run. Hard running again. Guthrie makes the stop. Woods again. 5 more. First down Salmen at the Curtis 45. as they just keep giving him the ball here in the second half. No question, they realize he didn't touch the ball enough in the first half.
He's capable of carrying the ball 30 to 35 times a game. He's in that kind of shape, and he's that kind of workhorse. And I'll tell you what, Dwayne Woods is already one of the better running backs to come through the state of Louisiana, and he's got another season yet to go.
Charles Goodwin, a sophomore, checks in at defensive tackle for the Patriots. Quick snap, Dale will keep. Dale evades a tackle. Dale gets outside, cuts back. Look at this effort by Brandon Dale as he gets down to about the Curtis 39. About 7 yards. What an effort by Dale.
Brandon Dale looks like he can really run with the ball. He's not just a quarterback, Kenny. What an athlete he is. And he's taken a lot of pressure off for Dwayne Woods. At least in the first half, it was basically the Brandon Dale show. Good faking right here, attracting a lot of attention to Woods, and he knows what to do, zigzagging, good feet right here for a runner. Cuts inside, cuts outside, and 4.5 speed. What an athlete he is, one of the best to ever wear the Salmen Spartan uniform.
2nd and 4 from the 40. And Woods cuts back. Woods fighting forward. Look at this kid go. First down and more. He's inside the 35 and down to the 34, but a flag is down on the play, and it's in the Salmen backfield. As they sort this one out, it's going to work against Salmen. We'll take a timeout with 9:15 to play. 13-7 Curtis on the Cox Cable Prep Football. Bill Stubbs marching the sideline. The Salmen Spartans trailing 13-7, but they have the ball in great shape, playing a 2nd and 10 at the Curtis 45. That penalty there hurting them, and they've had a problem with that all year. Penalties. They had 10 for 110 yards against Glen Oaks, 8 for 107 yards against Lehigh, 8 for 100 yards against North Shore, 16 for 145 yards against Salmen. That's a whole bunch of yardage the wrong way. 2nd and 10. Dale fakes, rolling right. He's broken containment. He can throw. He does, and it's caught. Robinson. Oh, out of bounds, they say. Out of bounds. Incomplete. Boy, a nicely executed play. And we'll see it again. He can get 1 foot in. It's a good catch, but apparently did not have one in here.
Robinson just lost where he was, and we can't see from this angle, Ken. It looks like he may have got a foot in, but perhaps he was just too close to the line. Officials right there. Of course, Salmen, with 5 white jerseys in the area, they're going to kind of jockey the official for the right decision, but it looks like it was the right decision he made. 3rd down now with 9:01 to go here, and it's a very important possession here for the Salmen Spartans.
3rd and 10 to 45. Blitz coming. Dale just has to heave it. It might be picked off and in. Picked off and across the 50 back to the Salmen 48 with the interception is David Nietzsche. Dale under heavy pressure made a mistake trying to heave it. Emmerich Watson hustling to make the stop from behind. First turnover of the game for the Spartans.
And Nietzsche is senior in the right place at the right time from his right cornerback position. Really been a good play, heads up ball for Nietzsche. And you see Brandon Dale, he's really flush out of the pocket right here. Getting a lot of pressure from Greg Norman and company. Throws it up, Nietzsche right where he needs to be. Didn't have enough mustard on that throw. And you're right, that the wide receiver for the Salmen Spartans, Watson, stopped a potential touchdown run.
Corcoran and Pierce in the backfield. The give is to Corcoran. He is going to get big yardage. First down, Patriots. To about the 32, he has 16 before Woods and Bell can make the stop. The inside veer. If you block them, they'll run, regardless of who's back there. And Corcoran has done a good job tonight. He's done a good job all year. Led the team in rushing against Landry earlier this year with 86 yards. So he can do it, and he is doing it.
Good blocking up front by Eckert, Holloway, and Harris, opening some gaping holes. But Corcoran knows what to do with the ball with he's got it, a 6'1", 205-pound junior. He'll be back next year. And Corcoran's really done a good job with a touchdown catch in the first half.
Again, the Patriots milking that clock, taking their time here. 2 tight ends, and they give to Corcoran. Flag down. Corcoran has about 4, but a flag down. And it looked like before the play started, so it appears that this will work against Curtis. Anytime you see that flag come down that early, it is procedure against the Patriots. So it will be 1st and 15. Well, you get the feeling that one more score might do it for the Patriots with the kind of defense they have. Of course, Salmen with one score can win the game. Pretty much what we expected here.
Corcoran, you know, his brother preceded him at John Curtis. Mike plays at Nicholls State, and Brad following in his footsteps, and a pretty strong running back in his own right. Done a good job. The Corcoran brothers, Mike and now Brad, here with the Curtis Patriots.
Illegal motion on the offense. Replay first down.
The call from Mike Hill. This Salmen defense has been tested tonight. They've been on the field for so long, and during this 23-game win streak of theirs, no one has scored 20 points on them. No one. Split backs, twin receivers left on 1st and 15 now from the 37-yard line. The wide side of the field is the left side, and the quarterback is Kirk Walters. His dad, Steve Walters, a very fine wide receivers coach and a fine man as well. Had a chance to visit with him earlier today. Hall across the formation in motion. Walters wants to throw in the flat, and it's caught by Pierce to the 30 and out of bounds near the 25. Stays on his feet. Nice throw and a nice catch and run by Aaron Pierce. Brindell wraps him up, brings him out of bounds, but a gain of about 10.
We told you that Pierce reminds some of Randy Brown. Good quickness, gets out of that backfield, good speed, good feet right here, plants and cuts back in, gets a good block as well, and it's coming back.
I believe a clip against John Curtis, so now they are hurting themselves. This is the way it's been all night. When it looks like a team gets something going, a big penalty negates it. This was a nice play. In fact, that was the play they scored on earlier with Corcoran. Well, he's a fine young man. Allie Demarest, former Jesuit star, who was featured on Cox Cable a few years back during a big run that Jesuit made to the state semifinals. And boy, he was off to a great start. The young man at Tulane at 2-1 this year. He got hurt and they lost 8 in a row. It's a shame he didn't get a chance to play in his senior year, but he's got his future secure. He's a terrific student.
Transfer from
young man.
Georgetown.
And he'll be fine. Curtis now with an unenviable task. 1st and 22 yards to go from their 44. They are taking forever in the huddle. And finally, J.T. Curtis signals for a timeout. Timeout called with 7:52 to play with our score. John Curtis 13, Salmen 7 on the Cox Cape. This Salmen team is dominant. This year they faced 5 teams in Class 5A. They not only won all 5 games, but they outscored those 5A teams 156-27. They're a 4A team. They don't play like it, and neither do these guys, the Patriots. Of course, classification is determined by enrollment.
Well, I tell you what, these many 5A schools would love to change spots with these two teams right here.
Patriots break the huddle. Twin receivers to the right. Split backs again. Walters with Powell in motion wants to throw. He will throw deep, and collision, and incomplete, and a flag down. Lilly going downfield, and he collided with Kevin Porter. This will likely work against Salmen again. This time, Porter may have very well impeded the progress of the tight end. I would debate that other one, but I won't debate this one.
Well, it looked like Smiley Woods may have done it, but anyway, it's you see, as Walters drops back, sets up plans, 6'3" frame, big quarterback, airs it out right here, and looks like
pass interference on the defense. First down.
What a huge penalty. It was Woods. Renee, you were correct. And the reason it's huge is because they had 1st and 22 on that play. This is an automatic first down at the Salmen 29, the kind of play that can break your back. I talked about the penalties coming into this game that Salmen has had this year, and they've overcome them against everyone else. It will be tougher to overcome those tonight against this opponent.
You know, we talk so much about Dwayne Woods, but Damian Woods is a prospect in his own right, being looked at by LSU, Arkansas, USL, and a number of other teams.
Corcoran inside Veer. He's down to the 22, banging for about 7. Damian Woods on the stop as he went back to the weak side on that Veer. Handoff, and Woods makes the stop.
I think Woods is laying on his back saying, get the number of that truck. Watch this run right here as Corcoran just lowers his shoulders and bang, right there. Woods has...
And he's left the game. Damian Woods is shaken up. Looked like he might have had his bell rung as he was very, very, very slow in walking off the field, and then immediately put his head down and got attention over on the Salmen sideline. As you mentioned earlier, this game not for the faint of heart. There is some serious hitting going on down on this playing surface. 2nd and 3, the 22. Corcoran again. First down, Curtis. He's down to the 17. He has about 5 more. He has truly taken over for the Patriots. Brad Corcoran, and he's a junior, came into this game with 37 carries for 312 yards and 5 touchdowns. Clarence Crawford on the stop. First down, Curtis. 6:55 to play. Patriots leading 13-7.
And you can hear the Curtis Patriots fans yelling Moose, reminiscent of Darrell Johnson of the Dallas Cowboys. Brad Corcoran just running that power football, one of the stronger members of the Patriot football team.
Slight delay here. And now the official is telling some people to move back again.
Can a field goal perhaps may salt this away for the Patriots? There's still a lot of time left, just under 7 minutes to go here in the final stanza. But for one of these teams, this is the last quarter in 1995.
Well, these officials have constantly tried to move some people back on the sidelines, trying to protect them, obviously. Now the play will come in again from the sideline in deliberate fashion as they want to milk this clock as it's rolling again. 6:35 and counting. Holloway will be over the football. Caldwell will split wide to the right. Curl and Lilly, the 2 tight ends, tucked in on either side. And Corcoran again with a hole. Brad Corcoran is down to the 1-yard line. First and goal, Curtis. 16 yards for Corcoran. Keith Porter saved the touchdown. The inside veer, and they're wearing them down.
He's running like a man possessed on a mission right here. Kenny, you just can't tackle. Breaking 3 tackles up the middle, and had it not been for Porter, he would have been touchdown bound, but he's brought shy of the end zone at the 1-yard line. Now it's first and goal for the Patriots, and they're banging on the door.
And now, Renee, you figure they've got at least 3 cracks from the 1, if not 4. And coming in with a play is James Powell.
You think they'll dial number 20 here, Kenny?
Right now, they can dial anybody with that blocking they're getting up front, inside. Walters has engineered this drive beautifully. Single receiver right, Powell. And they give to Corcoran into the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots.
Football here, Ken, right here. And what a surge by the offensive front of the Patriots. Just gave him running room, and you can credit the offensive line for that touchdown. What a surge they had out front, and just knocked them 2 yards into the end zone.
I would imagine they'll go for 2 here with a 12-point spread, and they will. And the quarterback is Burris. They switched quarterbacks for this play. Split backs behind Andy. Rolling right. He's in trouble, throws and intercepted. It's a dead ball as the 2-point conversion fails. And John Curtis, with 5:27 to play, has extended its lead. It's the Patriots 19 and the Spartans 7. Back in a moment on the Cox Cable Prep Football Game of the Week.
Are you a frustrated Saints fan? Studies show that internalizing your frustration with the Saints' poor performance.
And look at the blocking.
Great surge, as we mentioned, into the end zone. Look at the hole he has, though, Ken. And power football right there. That's old-fashioned Ohio State football. 6 plays, 48 yards. A final nail, a 1-yard dive by Brad Corcoran. The 2-point conversion was not successful. 5:27 to go, 19-7, Ken.
Eckert and Cunningham with outstanding blocks. Eckert, the son of Walter, a good man. Jay, a top college prospect, preseason All-Metro selection, showing you why. Corcoran will kick it off. He's been kicking it on the ground most of the night. And they slide their threats up around the 20-yard line, expecting that to be the case again. And this time he hits it deep. Wouldn't you know it? This is Hotard. Hemmed in, evades a tackle. Oh my. What a hit. Joey LaBella was there again. He has had a couple of big hits on special teams tonight. Wow.
Who left the bike in the driveway? The bicycle in the driveway. Woo! They slammed the door on him real quick in Hotard. He didn't know what hit him. He reversed field, and well, I tell you, they really slammed the door. Special teams for the John Curtis Patriots. You see him reversing his field. Did not see this coming. Puts the hat on him right here. You can see it. Ooh, good tackle there. Good special teams effort by the John Curtis Patriots. A multitude of blue jerseys.
Joey LaBella, 6'2", 200, a junior. He'll be back. 3 receivers right for Salmen. In motion and right. Faking Dale. Evades a tackle. Trying to get outside. Boy, he's got speed. Cross the 35. He's out near the 40. First down for Salmen. A gain of 20 for Dale. Mike O'Brien on the stop. Well, he accelerates so quickly.
Brandon Dale. Oh.
Face mask Curtis as well, and additional yardage for the Spartans. They are a long way from done. They can score so quickly. And look at this.
What a threat he is with the ball tucked under his arm, running to the right, and he does have tremendous acceleration right here, pulling away from some players, and these are not shotted defenders at all. Brandon
Face
Dale.
mask on the defense, first down.
15 yards tacked on. O'Brien and LeBlanc in there. And now Salmen at the Curtis 45 with 4:51 to play in the game. And if they can get a score within the next minute and a half to 2 minutes, they're in great shape still. And you know they're capable of doing that.
You can expect number 22 to get his hands on the ball very shortly here.
3 receivers right, 2 receivers left, no one lined up in the backfield. And they give it on the inside to Woods. He's in trouble, he's down. Well, they tried to throw a wrinkle at him, but they know where Dwayne Woods is at all times. Greg Norman, not a golfer, but a heck of a linebacker. 5'11", 235, a senior on the stop. Smith helped. It's second down. And about 12 yards to go. Clock running. Salmen no huddle at the line of scrimmage. Quick snap, Dale. Rolling right, throws in the flat. Incomplete. Flag down, interference. This will be a first down for Salmen. Nietzsche was there. Pass was intended, it appeared, for Emmerich Watson, and this will work against the Patriots. Clock stopped with 4:09 to play. First down for Salmen as the drive continues.
That's aggressive football here by Nietzsche, the defensive back. Brandon Dale throwing a good pass right here. Nietzsche just a little overly aggressive. And it's interference, I tell you what.
We have defensive pass interference. That's a 15-yard penalty, and it's an automatic first down.
One thing is certain, that's a popular call here tonight.
He looked like it was close. That's aggressive. He may have run up his back just a little bit, but this does give Salmen an opportunity at the 32-yard line of Curtis.
As we've seen with Salmen's defensive backs, you just can't do much back there, can you? You really can't. From the 32-yard line, rolling left, Dale. He stops, he throws, has a man caught. And this is a first down to the 15-yard line, Tyrone Roberts. Clarence LeBlanc makes the stop with 4:02 to play. And the Spartans are marching right down the field as Roberts, the 200-pound junior, who had a 20-yard touchdown catch against North Shore, comes up big here.
And Brandon Dale brings so much attention to himself with what he's done with his feet this evening. His arm is just as dangerous. He throws a little pass to the tight end Roberts for a great game.
Rolling right, Dale gets a block, throws, and this pass is going to be caught, I believe, for very short yardage, maybe a yard or two, and the clock will continue to run. Patrick Green on the reception, Guthrie all over him to make the stop. Second down, clock running, about 8 yards to go, 3:40 and counting. And Salmen huddles, and they'll try to get 2 plays called, you can bet. Now they break the huddle. And 3 receivers left. Single running back, Green. Woods in the slot left. As they spread the defense, Dale quick snap rolling left. He's looking. He's throwing. And it's caught. And it's a touchdown. Emmerich Watson from 13 yards out. And it's 19-13 as the Spartans come charging back.
Kick. Onside kick.
On a slant pattern, Brandon Dale throws it right where it needs to be thrown to the 5'8", 150-pound senior, Emmerich Watson. Gets the ball at the 5, knows just what to do with it, and you can bet that, boy, that really pumped up this Salmen offense, that last play.
The play here is to go for 1. It's only a 6-point spread, but they're going to go for 2, and I'm not sure what this does for you, because a 2-point conversion only puts you down 4, and that doesn't make any difference. You kick the extra point, and then all you have to do is score a touchdown, and you automatically take the lead or win the game. We'll keep it here with 3:19 to play. That might be what they're discussing. Now, keep this in mind. That's an expensive timeout to take for Salmen. Down with 3:19 to play, and I think they took it because of the situation. Just my arithmetic, Renee. Would you agree with that in this situation?
Well, yeah, I would, Ken. And the thing is that I'm sure excitement took hold of Coach Stubbs and his staff, and perhaps it was the players wanted them to go for 2 and kind of seal that last nail in the coffin right there. Not coffin, but kind of get the excitement flowing over into the field after following that touchdown. But a 2-point conversion will not do them any good whatsoever.
And look what they have done. Out on the field comes Patrick Green to attempt the extra point. They have changed their minds, but it cost them a timeout. Remember that. Swinging gate now. It's an apparent extra point attempt. Now they will line up. Green is an excellent kicker. Good snap, ball down, block. And it is no good. So with 3:19 to play, a big block by number 2, Ricky Brandt, and he comes up injured on the play, and he is writhing in pain on the turf. He's not only a terrific football player, he is an honor student, a scholar athlete, and he's down in pain.
He took a shot, I'm sure, in the chest, probably knocked the wind out of him because...
Might have been the football, Renee.
I'm quite certain it is, Ken. That hurts. That hurts.
So now each team has had an extra point blocked. Curtis has failed on a 2-point attempt. And it's 19-13 with 3:19 to play. And what an impressive drive in short order for Salmen.
5 plays, 80 yards, aided by 2 15-yard penalties tacked on against the Curtis Patriots. Dale with a 13-yard pass to Emmerich Watson. Extra point, no good.
Back in a moment on the Cox Cable Prep Football Game of the Week.
Armor is a slant or a post pattern to Emmerich Watson. Catches it, keeps his balance into the end zone. Touchdown. The extra point, no good. May prove to be very big here. 19-13, the Patriots. 3 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in this contest. Kenny still hold a 6-point advantage.
Aaron Pierce is deep to receive the kickoff, but he's the only guy back there because there are 10 blue shirts within 20 yards of the kicker. 6 men lined up around midfield, and another 4 at the Curtis 40 as the Patriots are anticipating an onside kick. And the ball is teed up on the right hash mark, which indicates they might indeed try something of that nature. Patrick Green is the kicker. 3:19 to play. They have decisively more white shirts to the near sideline. Left side of your screen. Green is going to get a hit a pooch kick, and it's going to be a tough one to handle, and it is handled. Smart play. Falling down with the ball at about the 31-yard line. Very intelligent play. Fielding the ball by number 17, Jason Howard, because that was a dangerous kick to handle. He kicked it right into the hole, if you will, between the deep man and the 4 players standing at the 40, and the Patriots get it with 3:19 to play at their own 31, needing this 1 first down seemingly to win this football game.
Kurt Walters will be the signal. I'm sorry, as Burris is back in the game. So this is the first time in over 10 years Walters will be re-entering the game. First time in over 10 years the Patriots have gone to a 2-quarterback system.
Well, Walters does indeed have this possession. He took them down the field on this last one. Burris has played very well also. 1 receiver to the right, Corcoran, 57 yards in this game. He scored twice. Walters keeps. That's a surprise, and he slides down for no gain. Well, that will run the clock, but it doesn't move anything. In fact, they lost a yard to the 30, 2nd and 11. And if they cannot get a first down, the Spartans will get the football back with a chance to win this game, perhaps. The next snap will occur with probably under about 2:50 to play as the play comes in with Burris. They get him in at quarterback now.
And you see Walters, kind of an odd call here, a surprise. I guess they thought they'd catch him snoozing here, but they did not. Walters has his feet slide from underneath him for no gain.
2 tight ends. Salmen expecting the inside run here, and they get it. And a yard or 2, and that's all for Corcoran. And the clock continues to run. 2:30 and counting. Edrin Smith on the stop. It's going to be 3rd down and about 10. And now, let's see, a timeout will be taken. Now you have an injured player. That stops the clock for Salmen. Not the way they want to stop it. Looks like Ernie Moore. That's the injured player. Let's see if we can pick up what happened to Ernie here.
Mass of beef right here, pounding right here in the middle. Corcoran hit first of all by Smith and just pounded by white jerseys, and underneath that pile of humanity is Ernie Moore. He looks like he may have hurt his knee. 6'6", 230-pound junior. They say he's a very similar player to Heath Panks, you may recall. Played here for Salmen, went on to play for LSU. He's now at a junior college, and he'll be leaving a junior college this year, so I'm sure you'll hear Heath Panks once again.
Well, you mentioned Sutton earlier. Alan Risher, of course, a very famous name in the Salmen history. They've had quite a few, but I don't believe they've had the kind of players and the kind of program that they've had here in the last 2 years. They have been terrific. 2:24 to play. Back in a moment on the Cox Cable Prep Football game. Problem. Now the clock will start again. Curtis will take a lot of time here, and they'll probably not snap this until under 2 minutes remaining. Huge play, 3rd down, a long 9. Line of scrimmage just outside the 32. I don't think they'd throw it here in this situation. Salmen doesn't think they will either. 10 men up front. And a flag down. Curtis had premature movement. Burris will go down, and if the play stands, Salmen will decline the penalty. That'll stop the clock for them with the flags down. Curtis with 80 yards in penalties already, and here they have a motion penalty forthcoming. Illegal shift against Curtis. Tony Jackson made the stop, and if it's a dead ball, they have to take the penalty. If not, that's a break, and Salmen gets a clock stoppage, and they'll get the football.
Well, Kenny, this will call for expert clock management on the part of Salmen.
And it is declined, and it's 4th down and a punting situation for Curtis. Salmen's going to get the ball back, and again, Curtis has to snap that ball in a punt situation, and this one's going to go down to the wire. I guess you wouldn't have expected anything else. Bill Stubbs is signaling that he might want a timeout. Let's see. Clock now will start to roll.
I don't know if I'd use one right here, Ken.
I think I'd wait till I get the ball. There's significant time remaining.
Yeah, he's going to use it.
Now they're going to take it. So they ticked off 11 seconds and take the timeout. I believe they have one remaining. With 1:45 to play, timeout Spartans with our score. John Curtis 19 and Salmen 13 on the Cox Cable Prep Football Game of the Week. Mike Strong, Jonathan Wells right next to him. Both of them with injured ankles. Strong had a good game. Right now, he will watch anxiously as his special teams try to get this punt off in good shape. Deep to receive the punt, the dangerous Keith Porter. 10 men up front for Salmen. Curtis shifts, they get movement, and they get a penalty apparently. I don't think it's going to be enough for the 1st down if it's on Salmen. If it's on Salmen, I stress. Curtis shifted. They shifted, and Salmen moved. Let us get the signal.
False start offense
on Curtis. And the Patriots aren't sure why. They're not sure why. J.T. Curtis is furious on the sideline. Furious.
In the interpretation of the official, it looks like someone from Curtis may have moved forward.
We have had some angry people on both sidelines here tonight with some of the calls. 10-man line Salmen. O'Brien standing at his 15. Good snap. Here come the white shirts. He got it off, and he hit a beautiful punt. Porter coming up to field it. He does so, and he's dropped at his 38-yard line with 1:38 to play. Salmen 62 yards away from tying or winning this ball game, trailing 19-13. Lilly made the tackle. Nice punt by O'Brien under pressure.
And Ken, two excellent football staffs. This has really come down to this last minute, 38 seconds.
And no huddle here for Salmen. They're ready with their hurry up, and they have the weapons to hurt anyone, anytime. Three receivers right, a single receiver left. Dale under center, takes the snap, back in the pocket to throw. He looks, he throws over the middle, and is caught. And loose at the 45, 40, he might go. Dwayne Woods, 30, 25, and out of bounds, and a flag for a face mask at the Curtis 21. Dwayne Woods with a huge play. Salmen erupts.
That's the guy you want with his hands on the ball, Dwayne Woods. And Brandon Dale threw it just where it had to be as Dwayne Woods did a crossing pattern.
Face mask on the blue team.
Who else but Dwayne Woods, and a perfect throw.
And tack on another 15 yards. Dwayne Woods with a crossing pattern right here. It's a good move, good block right here. Dwayne with the ball on the outside, skirting down the sidelines, and what a defensive back saved a touchdown. Unfortunately, his hands got caught up in the face mask.
Yeah, face mask on the defense, and he penalized half the distance to the goal line first down.
Half the distance to the 11. It was a 41-yard pass play and a 10-yard penalty. First down, Salmen at the Curtis 11. Fans are on their feet. Play in from the sideline. What a ball game. Fans standing all around this field and watching. 1:25 to play. And they go with that straight three-man eye. Deep in the eye is Woods. Tight end tucked in on the right side. And the give to Woods. He breaks one tackle. He breaks another. He's inside the 5 to the 4 and has 7 yards. And the clock will continue to run with a minute 12, a minute 11. They really don't have to hurry here. Johnson and LeBlanc on the stop. Second down, 3 for a first, 4 for a touchdown. Rolling right, Dale. He's still rolling. He's looking. He's throwing end zone and incomplete. Into traffic and incomplete. And the clock stops with exactly 1 minute to play, intended for Chris Green. It's third down and 3.
That play reminiscent of the Joe Montana Bears against the Cowboys to Dwight Clark. Only thing happened, this did not find its mark. Incomplete, stopping the clock. It's going to be third down and 3 yards to go, Kenny. This is a very big play, and you see as he airs it out, almost intercepted.
Oh, Cliff Crane, bless his heart, might have ended this game right there. Defensive tackle getting his hands on the ball. That doesn't happen much. Third down, 3 to go from the 4, a minute to play. Again, that straight eye, tight end on the left side. And the give to Woods inside. He bangs, he's to the 1 and close to a first down. We'll check the measurement. We'll check the spot. We'll see where it's at. Dwayne Woods just kept pumping and pumping. They're going to mark this ball near the 1 and right near the first down. And it looks like it's fourth down and a foot. 38 seconds and counting. And the give to Woods. Touchdown, Salmen! With 35 seconds to play, the Spartans tie the game. And now the important extra point to perhaps win the ball game. Patrick Green, the kicker, he's excellent. Had one blocked his last time, remember. And now Curtis might make him think about it. And it looks like they will. Timeout taken by the Patriots with 35 seconds to play. We'll keep it right here. Tied at 19. Dwayne Woods come perhaps winning this game.
Kenny, you're thinking some hearts pounding right there. I'll tell you what, you got some hearts pounding in unison in this stand right now on both sides. Salmen and Curtis. 1 point will separate these two teams. It's all knotted up at 19 apiece.
Well, what tonight has proven to us is really what most people felt anyway. This game should not have been played in the round of 8. And you don't want to point the finger at anybody because it's really not anyone's fault. It's tough to make these pairings and tough to place teams, but these two teams are better than seeing one go out in the quarterfinals, regardless of whom it is. Green to perhaps win it. Good snap, ball down, kick in the air, and it is good! Patrick Green, with 35 seconds left, gives Salmen the lead, 20-19.
That look says it all, Ken.
35 seconds still remaining for the Curtis Patriots to try to respond. They scored quickly. It only took them a minute to score near the end of the first half, remember. This is an altogether different situation, and they just spent at least their second time out, by my recollection. Let's head down to field level now. This update from Lance Jacob.
Gentlemen, let me take you back to about 5 minutes left in the game, actually, when Curtis went up and scored, was ahead by 2 scores. You may remember Dwayne Woods was injured and out of the game. Alec Gibson went to him and pleaded with him to get back in the game, give it a try. And I tell you what, Dwayne Woods was very upset. He was worried about this game. He came back in the game. What do you know? He's been the difference. Back upstairs.
That was quite a drive by the Spartans. 5 plays. Penalty against the Spartans, Ken.
Officials just thrown a flag right at the feet of Patrick Green, and I'm not sure what for.
Taunting, perhaps?
Celebrating, taunting. Well, I'll tell you, that would be an expensive penalty in a situation like this with 35 seconds remaining.
Woods with a 28th touchdown of the campaign. That last drive, 5 plays, 62 yards, notching 1 minute and 3 seconds off the clock. And Woods with that 2-yard run into the end zone, the extra point good. The Spartans up 20-19.
Dwayne Woods being hugged on the sideline. What a tremendous young player he is. And a 15-yard penalty against Salmen for unsportsmanlike conduct. Bill Stubbs has to be going bonkers inside about this. You can't celebrate too soon. There is still 35 seconds to play.
Ken, I tell you what, this 35 seconds seems to be a lot of time. Both these teams have been explosive in the second half.
And as a result, Green will have to kick from his own 25, and he has it teed up at the left hash mark. And Dwayne Woods has had to earn everything he's gotten, but no question he's the man of the hour at this point. 35 seconds to play. Green to kick it off. Pierce is deep if they kick it deep. Standing near his 20, we get a look at him. Still waiting for this game to resume. The officials and the Salmen coaches are still discussing this.
Let's go, let's go.
And now we're ready. Green hits it. Tough one to handle. Nice job by Brent. 35, 40. Up the middle, 45. Wedges forward to midfield with 29 seconds to play. They still have a chance. And at least from where we sit, the wind would appear to be at their backs here as Joey Labella is going to get himself loose just in case. Curtis will be ready to go at the line of scrimmage here because that clock's going to be started here momentarily, and Andy Burris is the quarterback. Corcoran and Pierce behind him, receivers to either side. Caldwell is one of those. Quick snap, flag down. Burris going deep down the middle, and the pass is caught. Diving catch, Pierce at the 29, but a flag is down. Thrown in the secondary. Might be on Salmen. Let us see. Huge play here because it only took 6 seconds. And it's on Salmen. And Curtis has it at the Salmen 29 with 23 seconds remaining. Penalties have been huge throughout this game. 2 here against Salmen in the last several seconds. Loom large at this point.
Well, Ken, you don't have to get it all back in 23 seconds. You have quite a couple of 2 or 3 plays right here, so you definitely...
Not necessarily. I believe they only have 1 timeout remaining. If they do have one, though, they do have a couple of plays left. If they don't have one, sidelines only at this point. Now the officials will talk again. Oh, in defense of these guys.
12 men on defense.
12 men on the field for the defense on that play.
29 yards is a lot of real estate in a game like this. I would be very curious to know what kind of range Joey LaBella has. Of course, when you get your heart pumping, Ken, you may attack on another 10 or 15 yards.
Well, they need more yardage than what they have right now, I would think. 23 seconds left, clock now running. Burris rolling right, wants to throw. He's looking, still looking. He's throwing deep, and it's going to be incomplete. Tipped by Lilly. Good thing, because number 5, Porter, was closing and might have picked it off. Stops the clock. 15 seconds remaining. Well, they tried the sideline, but that was a deep run. I'm a little bit surprised they went that deep in that situation. Yeah, but they're thinking about the score there, and Lilly is the guy you want to go to. He's the biggest target and the best receiver.
They had him high and low, and Lilly was running a sideline pattern, so had he caught that ball, he was heading for the sidelines. He would have been at the 10-yard line, which may have been in LaBella's in his range, but right now they're thinking to get down. Maybe they need about another 15 yards, Kenny.
If they have a timeout, a screen, or something of that nature would be a good call here. 2nd and 10 with the defense peeling back. He wants to throw. Burris is going to go deep into coverage. This pass is tipped and incomplete with 9 seconds left. Well, they went deep again. 2 men there to knock it away. Intended for Ricky Brandt, and a great job defensively, equal to the task. The Salmen Spartans getting it done with Terrell Vieira and Damian Woods, and they're outstanding players. 9 seconds left. Maybe time for 2 plays. It's 3rd down and 10 from the 29. And if you're thinking field goal, and if you have a timeout, you've got to make some yards, but they may not have one the way they are playing right now.
Well, yeah, and
they took one for earlier in the game when they were running out of time in the second half. They took another, of course, recently before the extra point.
But we'll find out if they have a timeout right here. Look for Clarence LeBlanc.
He's in the game in the slot right. Burris looking that way, in trouble, steps up, he gets it off incomplete with 5 seconds left, and now the decision for J.T. Curtis. It would be a 47-yard field goal if LaBella can get it that far. Otherwise, they've got to look at the end zone. Burris had to step up under pressure there. Salmen got pressure despite not rushing many, and that forced the throw to be low.
Well, that was pressure from the outside.
And they had that one timeout left.
Yes.
Which makes you wonder why they might not have thrown a little shorter in that situation, but we'll keep it right here with 5 seconds left. You don't question this man. He's a marvelous coach. If not the best in the country, he's certainly one of the best. What an incredible program he has put together at John Curtis Christian School.
And Billy Stubbs, an outstanding staff as well. 20-19, this game has been as advertised, Ken. And 5 seconds remain. One of these schools will go home unfortunately a loser, but you're right. It's 2 teams that deserve to be here and deserve to go on from here.
If you don't think your kicker has the leg in this situation, you would think that you try to get the 6'4" Lilly and the 6'4" LeBlanc either isolated or together in a jump ball situation.
Look for a pass interference if it comes to that, but you're right. It's 5 seconds now, and 4th down. This is all or nothing right here.
Now both teams making their way back out on the field. And the Curtis offense is on the field. Forget about the kick here. It's all or nothing, one play. 5 seconds to play, 4th down. 3 receivers to the right. LeBlanc, one of those. Lilly tucked in on the left side of the field. Burris, the quarterback, with a snap. 4-man rush. He looks, he waits. He's going to heave it toward the end zone. This ball's up there. This ball's tipped and incomplete. And Salmen wins the game, 20-19. The state champion Spartans advance. Incredible ball game.
That says it all right there, Ken.
And they get ready next week. We are getting ready next week. Give it a damn fluke. We number one. Number one, baby, number one.
And the Spartans advance to the semifinals with an incredible victory. They come back from 19-7 down with 5:27 to play and win this football game 20-19. And oh my, it went down to the last play. Well, that pass was in the vicinity of a bunch of shirts, both blue and white. And the Salmen secondary, which has been a strength of their terrific team all year long, came through with a big play there. And Dwayne Woods would have to be our player of the game here. He came up with the big plays when it counted.
Yes, he did. And Brandon Dale also had a tremendous yeoman's effort for the Salmen Spartans. Kenny, I tell you what, you hate to see either team go home with a loser in a game like this.
Thanks, man. Yeah, baby.
So the Spartans win at 20-19. And the players continue to shake hands on the field of play, enjoying themselves as they should, the Salmen players. And the Curtis players, nothing to be embarrassed about. A sensational effort here tonight. Coming up just short, we're back with our post-game show from Joe Yenny in just a moment on the Cox Cable Prep Football Game of the Week.
Proudly serving Southern Louisiana for over...
A stirring comeback by a stirring football team. The defending state champion and #1 ranked Salmen Spartans come back and defeat the John Curtis Patriots 20-19 here at Joe Yenny Stadium this evening. And they advance to the state semifinals in Class 4A with a victory. Ken Trahan along with Renee Nato, and what a game and what a finish. And it's pretty much what we expected, Renee. Just a tremendous football game played between two outstanding football teams.
And yes, Ken, just as advertised, two very tough defenses, and the cream rose to the top with Dwayne Woods. Was silent the first half, but really was outspoken and very evident he was in the game plan the second half.
He made the big plays when it counted. Let's head down to field level now as our Lance Jacob has the victorious head coach, Bill Stubbs of the Salmen Spartans.
Thanks a lot, gentlemen. What a football game we have just witnessed. Coach, you were talking about it on the way over here. One of the best high school football games I've ever seen.
It's the best high school football game I've ever been involved in. You know, it's just, this is what it's supposed to be about, you know. Thousands of people in the stand, great, you know, just great rivalry. I mean, because we do have a good rivalry. Just great football game.
You used a timeout. You decided to go for one. Looked like it might cost you. Your defense came up big and stopped them. You got the ball back.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll be honest with you. I think I miscounted on that, and I thought if we went for two, you know, we could come back and kick the field goal and win it. But no, we had to stop it and go back and kick the extra point. But no, it's defense. Our defense came on. I mean, they kind of sputtered in spots. We had some kids that banged up a little bit, but you know, they reached down and got it.
We talked earlier in the pregame and said, hey, you couldn't deal with the penalties against this team, but your team overcame the adversity.
Oh, I'll tell you what, we overcame a ton of penalties. I'm not going to say a whole lot. I'm just going to leave that up to the officials. But there were some things that I questioned out there. I was afraid of, but you know, that's our football team. We have been able to overcome a lot of things, but against this bunch, I'm surprised.
Overcoming a 19-7 deficit with 5:27 to play. What did you tell the team?
Well, we looked at, you look at these guys' eyes. You've been around these guys. A lot of these guys I've been around since they were this high, and you know what they have in them, and you know they're winners, and you know they're never going to quit. And so we just talked to them a little bit about that. We can come back. We have a high-powered offense. And when you got people like, Dwayne, you got a front line that's going to block. And you got people like Dwayne that'll give it everything. And then Brandon, of course, is going to make some big plays. And we had some receivers make some gigantic plays tonight. So we were real pleased.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the victory and enjoy it.
I appreciate it.
All right. Now let's turn over to our player of the game, Dwayne Woods. Dwayne, let's talk about the little conversation you had with Alec Gibson. You were down 19-7. You were very upset at the time, and your mom and Alec Gibson gave you a pep talk.
Yes, Alex Gibson and my mom, they told me don't be down because the game not over yet. We still have 5 more minutes left, and I just had to fight it. And when I did, the line came out and the defense held them. And I had to go out and do my best because that's all I could give is my best, and Coach told me to do that.
You went out of the game with, you were dinged up a little bit. A shoulder injury, or was that a leg injury?
I have back spasms sometimes,
okay.
and so they had to work with it, and they told me, don't give up, because this could be my last game, and I had to play it like it was my last game, and I did that.
Let's talk about the big play, the pass catch, and you ran a long way, all the way down to the 10-yard line by the time it was over with the face mask penalty. Looked like a little drag route, you one-on-one with the linebacker. Coach called it a crisscross, huh?
Yeah, it was a play that we worked on for a long time, but we never really came out in the game and did it. And we came out and did it, and it worked good for us. With the coaches calling good plays for us, and it came out and worked.
Once you cleared the sideline, the crowd erupted. What was that feeling like?
It felt good because, I mean, that I know I've been coming out and doing my best all year, and I know the offensive line came out and did their best all year, and it just felt good to help the team out.
Well, congratulations and good luck moving on the next week.
Thank you.
Our player of the game, Dwayne Woods. John Chambry now joins back with me. Just one great high school football game tonight.
I can't remember a game that I can say was a better game than that. I mean, it was just incredible. Two super football teams. And you know, when you look at this, what it takes for championship teams that'll be behind in a game, don't give up and come back. And that's what Salmen did today. They're a great football team.
Let's quickly take a look at John Chambry's future chips, picks for players in the future.
Well, I think my future chip today from Salmen was also our play of the night. I mean, he was a Dwayne Woods. He's just outstanding, and he has another year to go. What a player he's going to be. And the offensive line, when Curtis had such, when they were moving the ball down the field, Tony Cunningham, number 74, the offensive tackle, he did a great job. He's going to be a big lineman for them next year.
All right, John, let's take a look at our future chips. Guys, let's send it back up to you. What a great high school football game back upstairs.
Well, you can say so much after a game like this, but you're almost rendered speechless by what transpired on the field. Two teams that played great football all season long, and great football tonight despite some mistakes, and showed some tremendous courage under adversity, as Coach Bill Stubbs mentioned, and J.T. Curtis, of course, had his team overcome adversity with injuries as well. Great season for both, but Salmen emerges victorious. Somebody's got to win, and the Spartans did that, 20-19. We take a look at some of the final numbers in the game here this evening, and the edge went to John Curtis. They outrushed Salmen 212-156, outpassed them 122-91, and they led the total yardage as a result. First downs in favor of John Curtis. Turnovers one apiece, but remember the big special teams problem that Curtis had early in the game, and it cost them a touchdown. And in retrospect, special teams really hurt John Curtis, Renee. That particular play set up a Salmen touchdown. They had an extra point blocked, and as a result went for two the next time they scored and didn't convert either one. So you can really put this one in a lot of perspectives, but special teams definitely hurt John Curtis this evening.
Kenny, two teams that overcame adversity, and the Salmen Spartans overcame a lot of their miscues in penalties to win this game, and they shot themselves in the foot a number of times and came back and bagged this victory. But I tell you, hate to see either team come home with a loss, because with an asterisk, because they both deserve to go on from here.
Well, the touchdown that won the game came on a fourth down play, no less, and the guy that delivered was the guy you would expect to get the ball in this situation.
Dwayne Woods, the player of the game, and yes, on fourth down, the Salmen Spartans really dug down deep and got that extra effort, really emptied the bucket, and Dwayne Woods into the end zone for his 28th touchdown of the season, and that was the final nail in the Curtis coffin. 20-19, the Salmen Spartans advanced to the semifinals.
Let us not forget that the point that won the game was right after that, the extra point by Patrick Green. You don't take those things for granted, and he delivered when it counted. Curtis had one last shot. They got down to the Salmen 29 and still had over 20 seconds remaining in a timeout, but they could get no further, and two passes into the end zone fell incomplete, and Salmen advances to play the winner of Wassman and St. Thomas More. Just a great football game, and you know, oftentimes people ask me, you know, what are you still doing high school football for after 18 years? And I think I gave the answer very resoundingly tonight by what transpired on the field. Despite doing pro games, college games and such, this is simply a lot of fun, and these games tonight are the kind of games that make it all worthwhile.
Kenny, it doesn't get any better than this, and this was exciting football weather. When it comes to playoffs, there's no way I'd rather be than right here watching this, and this was one fine football game.
Salmen wins at 20-19 over Curtis. Renee, thank you very much as always. We had a great time.
Yes, we have, Ken. It's been my pleasure.
All right, and for Renee Nato, for Lance Jacob, for John Chambry, for Walter Volpatti, and our entire Cox Cable crew, our spotter buddy Dennis.